All right, let's go ahead and get the minor stuff out of the way first. The video you all already seen before. Brittany Renner with a visitation with PJ Washington.
This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up. Actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him. You gonna give him his bag and stuff?
That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he cries, we're gonna record that. And it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say?
I'd love to.
What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would.
Weird ass bitch.
Pussy ass
Hey, you
bitch.
wish I would,
Pussy
bitch.
ass. What the fuck you looking
Get your
at?
ass out my way, bitch.
Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
Dick, you don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 for that
You don't
bitch.
got shit in your
Get out
bank
the car.
account.
Get out the car. Get out the car. Come on.
So to all the fellas out there who were stupid, reckless, and dumb enough to have a baby mama and this is just your life, I don't know whether to feel sorry for you or just to say, well, you had this coming. So for those of you who had not seen the video, that's what happened. But as usual, most of the internet has got this dead wrong, as usual. So welcome to the Definitive School of Power Dynamics, where we go ahead and clear this up for you, where everybody else has gotten it completely backwards and wrong. Let's go ahead and clear this up for you. In reality, most of the blame for this particular incident lies firmly at PJ Washington's feet. Damn! What? But it's true. Everybody and their mama has tried to make this about Brittany. You already knew she was 5150. You already know that she's bipolar. And I'm not the guy who sits up here and loves hoes, much less defend them. But this incident right here, this is PJ Washington's fault. I didn't say that Brittany was acting civil. I didn't say that Brittany was a model citizen. I didn't say Brittany was in the right. I said the blame for this incident, I'm talking about what you saw in those 90 seconds. That's on him. And I'm not talking about from getting her pregnant. I'm talking about for how this was handled. I don't even have any children, and I know this. You take a look at what happens here. Mama was already recording, so obviously they had some back and forth before they even showed up. And then this happens. She's got the kid. She's got his backpack. You know, she's got the kid and she's got his backpack. When PJ walks off, he'll not have the backpack, but we'll come back to that. But this is the first thing. I don't know if that's Brittany's dad or whatever sending her in the door. I don't know what's going on. But bottom line is, here Brittany is, and she's at her folks' house. So I don't know if, she's on some, Cassie Ventura stuff, living with her parents. Life is good right now, I suppose. But this next part right here, this is the issue. It's not about the kid crying.
Hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing.
Okay, so first of all, she comes off talking about this what we not doing. Folks, this isn't your woman anymore. She wasn't really your woman when you were laying on top of her. You don't have to have an understanding with her. You don't have to have approval with her. Why are you standing there? And you certainly don't take a lecture from her. The court did not mandate that you are required to get lectured by her. You are required to have rights to your son, and that's it. We're not here to hear no lecture from her. So this is where he starts going off the rails right here. She comes in here with confrontational energy for authority she doesn't have. This what we not doing. She can't stop you from anything. There's nothing she can stop you from doing. So what we not doing, there's nothing you can stop him from doing.
So every time that he does this, I'm going to record this. Because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it.
Now, at least he had some sense right there, but when you've got this overly immature oaf like he is, he started off good, can you give me his backpack? And he just walks off. Can you give me his backpack? Okay. Understand when you all are dealing with these overgrown 10-year-olds. And look at the way he's dressing. Yes, PJ, I'm going in on you. Look at how he's dressing. He's not even dressed like an adult man. Calculating, shrewd, devious females look for males they can dominate. Males they can dominate are intellectually inferior, socially inferior. One of the telltale signs is a grown man dressing like an overgrown toddler. And that's PJ Washington. No man is intimidated by a female unless he needs her for a place to stay. And even then, he's not intimidated. But when we say they go looking for weak males, as a man, I know another male walking around dressed like an overgrown toddler. It's like, yeah, dude, you have failed to mature. You still stuck back in 5th grade. Folk gonna be getting over on you for the rest of your life on account of the fact that you have not matured. Ali, don't worry. I'll have you call up when I open up Zoom. That's all right. In any case, so he's falling for the bait number 1. Don't sit there for a lecture. When he did ask for the backpack, that was beginning of some sensibility. But then he shows how immature he is, especially if you're being recorded, because then it doesn't look like you're serious.
Because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up. Actually show up and do something that...
Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. He's walking off. Why is he going back and forth with her? He's supposed to leave her dumb ass standing in the rain like boys to men in the middle of the road. You're supposed to have her standing there in the rain talking to your backside. That's what you're supposed to do. This is not a person that you live with or you have to have a reconciliation with. You two don't have to be on the same page about a damn thing. She handed your son over. Why are you talking to her? Why are you acknowledging her existence? You have your son. You can't say, she won't let me see my kids. She won't let me see my kid. Okay, you've got your son. Why are you talking to her? Because this is baby mama, baby daddy garbage. This is why these feckless degenerates always end up back in bed with each other. Because their relationship is still ongoing. It is unresolved. And if you're a man who walks off into a situation like this and think you're going to make a commitment, you're the dummy in the room. Baby mama, baby daddy relationships do not get resolved. She didn't get pregnant because she wants to let him go. She got pregnant because she wants to retain him. And if she can't, she wants to punish him. But she doesn't want to end it, and neither does he. Because, as I said, when PJ Washington originally got her pregnant, he was thinking that he was putting a padlock on them panties. What? When males get a female pregnant, you think you putting a padlock on them drawers. And if she gets pregnant, that'll keep anybody else from gripping them butt cheeks. And it'll just be sitting there vacant until you decide to spin the block and come on back around. And then you found out it's not true. Hoes gonna always find somebody else to lay up with them. So when she showed you, and there'll be somebody else, it might be grimy, it might be whatever, but somebody else will be gripping these butt cheeks. If you cannot accept that reality, then you're sitting here being salty and bitter and standing in the damn driveway with her going back and forth for a relationship that we all thought was over. That's the problem. Him talking to her. You have your son walk to your damn Escalade and throw him in the back, and we driving off. Why is there any conversation being exchanged between the two of you? Why are any words being exchanged? Because he still wants to have some importance and value with Brittany. The kid was a means of locking down Brittany. The kid is the only excuse he has for interaction with Brittany. He's the one extending it. Yeah, because he's not over it. This wasn't the plan. He was a young dude and some older chick got him sprung, and he's having a lot of trouble dealing with it. And we're going to get to his wife in just a few moments. But yeah, this is the problem.
This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up. Actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him.
Why are you stopping and talking to her? Why are you trying to go back and forth with her, dude?
Do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him.
You gonna give him his bag and stuff? That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he cries, we're going to record that.
You can hear him arguing with her. She's outside, standing in the damn rain, yelling like a freaking lunatic, which she is, and you standing there going back and forth with her? Dude, this is a stupid look for you. The world knows that the chick you decided you was gonna lock down because you're dumb, stupid, and desperate. Everybody knows she nuts. Now you look nutty too. The both of you look grimy and messy and drama-filled, and you're showing the whole damn world how the both of you ended up here. Yeah, because y'all are still the same people. Standing in the middle of the damn rain. Is he wearing flip-flops or whatever? What? Two overgrown-ass toddlers, one worse than the other. Going back and forth in the rain. And for what? Y'all be coddling him too much, like you're the picture of maturity, by the way. Y'all baby him too much, like you're the mature person in the room. Like you're acting like it. Why do you have to have an understanding with her? You think you're going to get all y'all's ish? You think you're going to convince Brittany that they baby the kid too much in the middle of the damn driveway? You think you're about to get that cleared up here? You think you're going to make 1 inch? Why are you talking to her? She doesn't want to talk. She just wants to fight. Okay, why are you interested in holding a fight with her? Well, you Floyd Mayweather, you getting paid for boxing?
And it's what, hey, it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say?
I'd love to.
What'd you say?
Now, the person holding the phone, who's talking about what'd you say, that's Brittany's mom.
Auntie, chill.
What? That's Brittany's mom holding the phone, talking about what'd you say? So you can see what kind of family tree your dumb ass jumped into bed with, dude. And you think you gonna argue with her in the driveway and that's her mama? What kind of stupid, ignorant baboon? Oh, I'm sorry, PJ Washington, professional athlete, amateur simp, although on his way to expertise. Yeah, so that's mom holding the phone. You know it's mom because when she turns back around here in a moment, you're going to, you already saw Brittany walking out there. Obviously, Brittany's not holding the phone. That's Brittany's mom on the phone. And yes, she's a white woman, but we don't have to go around about that. But yeah, if you don't think there's white hood rats, I don't know who in the hell told y'all this. Get you a white woman. Okay, be a dummy. Some folks just make up their own idiocy, but yeah, white hood rat. And okay, you already knew this. If he spent any time with Brittany, he's already seen mama doing this kind of stuff. Brittany already got a bad relationship with her mom to begin with, but then again, dysfunctional is the only type of thing they know. So why are you in the middle of a damn somebody else's driveway in a new Escalade? You got your son, you're strapping him in, and rather than you having, let me just let this play for a moment to make another point here, because this is the part that really upset me about PJ.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would.
Weird ass bitch.
This is Brittany Renner's mom. And I didn't want the bleeped version. I wanted you all to hear it so you hear exactly what these adults, alleged adults, are all saying in front of a 3-year-old child. What? This is the way that all of them, Brittany, her mammy, PJ, and PJ's wife in just a moment, this is how they are all conducting themselves in the middle of a driveway, in the middle of the rain, in front of a 3-year-old child. Now, that's the part that none of your YouTubers, none of these other folk out here sitting up here trying to chase headlines and chase clicks and not thinking, because thinking's not you guys' strong suit. None of you were talking about. Now, this is how all of these adults are acting in front of a 3-year-old child? No, because the folks chasing clicks, they want to talk about bombing on Brittany. Forget civilization. He is hovered over his 3-year-old son acting like this. With baby mama and baby mama's mama acting like that, going around right there in the kid's face, and his wife is no better. And nobody's talked about that part. As a man, as a father, you're not supposed to do this. This is your son. You are supposed to be a source of stability and stoicism. And he's acting as bad as all the other hoes. And no, it is not lost on me that there are 3 females, 1 half boy standing there with a NBA contract, and he's as bad as all the other ovarians standing and sitting around him. In reality, there's 4 hoes here. 4. Not 3, there's 4. This is disgraceful for him to behave this way in front of his son. That's the problem.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would.
Weird ass bitch.
Pussy ass
Hey, you
bitch.
wish I would,
Pussy
bitch.
ass. What the fuck you looking at?
Ass out my way, bitch.
Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
Dick, you don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account.
Now, this right here was over the damn line. People, he got in the truck. He closed the door. Why didn't he just put the damn thing in reverse and show how quickly them quad pipes can pull out their driveway? No, he rolls the window down so we can continue this running gun battle. He doesn't just drive off. I don't give a damn what your other know-nothing YouTubers told you. At what point is he being ridiculous? How do you defend this? How do you defend it? He's rolled the window down so they can keep exchanging insults? Please tell me, what is the justification or the benefit of him rolling the window down so they can continue hurling invectives at each other? Why? Oh yeah, and a brief reminder, his son, the 3-year-old kid that he just strapped in the car seat, sitting right behind him. You think this plays well in front of a judge? You think this plays well in front of a child advocate? You think this plays well in front of a therapist? Who do you think this plays well in front of? At what point do you become a damn man and admit, you know what, it would have been great if this chick who sprung your sexuality, would have been nice if she would have stuck around, but she ain't gonna do it. You got to hold this L and limp off. Take this as a life lesson learned. maybe you can talk to another young fella and tell him to check his hormones. Because this is how bad it can get. He ain't trying to do that. He's still trying to get back at his baby mama and their dysfunctional situation. And he's showing that, yeah, this is what kind of male, can't call him a man, he's going to be. But the inexcusable part is he rolls down the window. Now, if anyone was under any illusions about what type of female he married, his new wife, I mean, they got married 2 years ago, but his new wife is sitting over there in the passenger seat. Now, this woman got children of her own before she met him. She's with him, and this is the caliber of female he grabbed after Brittany Renner.
Put $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 of that bill. Get out of your car. Get out the car. Get out the car. Come on.
Now, that's his wife.
In your son's bank account, but $170 of that bill. Get out of your car. Get out.
With your 3-year-old son sitting in the back seat. These profane, vulgar, degenerate reprobates. Their 3-year-old son, her 3-year-old stepson, sitting in the back seat. And this is the caliber of woman, wife, and mother that she is. My issue is, by the way, nobody's showing what's going on in the back seat. Can we see the kid? Your other YouTubers didn't point this part out while they were so busy trying to get clicks off of saying Brittany Renner's name. Did you even see what the hell happened here? No, you didn't. Red pill, no brains. No, I laid this right here squarely and firmly at this overgrown sock puppet of a toddler's feet, PJ Washington. I can't respect you as a man. I certainly can't respect you as a father. And clearly, you ain't got your wife in check.
And deal with it, nigga.
Furthermore, let's be clear about that. You ain't got your wife in check. So this shows us the caliber of females he keeps around him. So let me just say right now, you can start the damn countdown to this divorce. He married a single mom, insta-thought, and you can see the caliber of discipline that she brings to the table. Yeah, you can start the countdown to this divorce. To any moron out there in their comment section, folks can be so stupid. Y'all make a good couple. You're an idiot. This is the caliber of woman he married. He thought this was the one. He figured this where he's supposed to be. And I was absolutely mortified when I'm sitting there saying, by the way, your son is sitting behind you. Your son is sitting right behind you, 4 damn lunatics. And none of you sat here and said to yourselves, this is completely inappropriate. But you know what the reason why is, don't you? The reason why is because to folks like PJ and Brittany and Aisha, children are not people. You see, this is what happens. Unfortunately, nature and biology allows the inhumans to procreate. You don't have to be civilized. Anybody who's seen the beginning of that film, Idiocracy, you remember the middle-class man and woman, they spent decades and never had children. Meanwhile, the degenerate athlete down the street had like 7, 8 baby mamas and 15, 20 grandkids. To folks like this, children are toys. They're bargaining chips. They're a meal ticket. You can't afford your lifestyle, find a goof who can play basketball, and you all lock each other down. You all trap each other. You gonna trap Brittany's used up, worn out butt cheeks, and she's gonna trap your NBA money. Because none of the rappers that she thought a decade ago were gonna make a lane for her, none of them ever did. Drake said, yeah, baby, it wasn't that good. And everybody else balled on out. And everyone made sure not to get her pregnant. First stupid dummy who did, now he's stuck. And she's punishing him ever since. Children are not the precious, immeasurably valuable, wonderful things they're supposed to be. Not to these kind, they're not. Not to them. Children are just something to tug a war over. They're just objects. They're objects that are supposed to give you leverage. I'm going over to see my son. What time is it? 1:30 in the morning? But I need to come see my son. Nigga, 1:30 in the morning? You trying to make sure she's home. You trying to make sure the baby mama is by herself. You're not concerned about the kids. And PJ Washington has gotten himself into this mess. He's gotten himself into this mess, and most of your so-called bloggers and YouTubers, as you all have heard tonight, they were just dead damn wrong. Dead wrong. If you all agree with that, give me the money bag emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 1,500 people in here live tonight. I know you're getting ready for your sports season, but for those of you who are here, we appreciate that. If you agree with what I've said so far here tonight, give me the money bag emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. And I want to go a little bit deeper into this now. I want to go a little bit deeper into this. Because other articles have come out here. They got on Instagram, and PJ Washington's wife supposedly, allegedly, because I don't know if this is supposed to be damage control or media negotiation, she bought him a Rolls Royce. Now, let me say right here, I will say one thing. Fellas, it's the 21st century. You can't take a chick seriously unless she does something like this. What? Damn! Ladies, it's the 21st century. It's 2025. We cannot take you seriously if you don't do things like this. If she's trying to wallpaper over her lack of suitability, she's doing a good job. So, ladies, if you are not showing tangibles, if you are not paying tribute to the man that you're with, it doesn't work. It really, really doesn't. It really doesn't. But I want to show you the rest of it here, because here's the issue. If you want to know what was really going wrong here, I want to show you some things. Here first. I want you to take notes. We're going to come back to the video here in just a few moments. This is the new wife. This is the new wife right here alone. I count 3 tattoos at least. Right here alone, you count 3 tattoos at least. She's had extensive tattoo work done, as well as other things. There's the keys to their Rolls Royce. I have questions, but we'll come back to that. I don't want to get too far bogged down to that. We'll come back to that. Oh, look, there's your wife again. Oh, and take a look. I mean, not a small tattoo on them butt cheeks. I'm talking about BBL stands for butterfly. Oh, at least one of the B's in BBL stands for butterfly. So he's got to look at tattoos that she got from another dude. Every time she gets naked, he's got to see tattoos that she got for another fella. Some dudes can't win for losing. I showed you this right here to show you the tattoo artist. Yeah, the tattoo artist got to take a good long look at them good and plenties.
Damn!
Yeah, the tattoo artist knows what your woman looks like naked. I want you all to remember that. For the tattoo artist to put that butterfly on her butt cheeks. Oh, dude, he had to get old gal naked. I'm thinking, think about how much gripping he was doing. Oh, I'm taking you there.
Alrighty then.
The tattoo artist to put a big old butterfly like that, even with a stencil. Can you imagine how much gripping he had to do and how long he had to sit there and grip your woman's butt cheeks? The butt cheek. I'm talking about he had a grip on that like a basketball. I'm not being salacious for no reason. I want you to understand. Have you ever seen a tattoo that big being done? Oh, he's got to get your woman booty naked. And I'm talking about grip it and grab it and tug it and pull it. He did everything with your chick you do, only he did it longer. For a tattoo that big on her ass, he is the tattoo artist living the life. He was living the life. I'm talking about both hands, grip, pull, squeeze it. Ooh, squeeze it, rub it. Oh, let me wipe it off some more over here. He's wiping it. He can see the cellulite. He can see the pores in it. He knows where her pimples are at. The tattoo artist giving her the work. Oh, man, there ain't no problem right there. Okay. Then, of course, up in the front. Yeah, he done seen it all, bruh. The tattoo artist gave her pap smear.
What? Damn! What?
Yeah, the tattoo artist gave her pap smear, boy. Don't worry, there's others. Oh, take a look. I mean, she's tatted up. The whole single mom insignia, she's tatted up. She's tatted up, and boy, I'm so glad I got away from Brittany. Hurry and line up, fellas. So I'm just saying, by the way, this is the chick he thought was wife material. He thought that this was wife material. Let me see if I can make that work. Oh, don't worry, the kid that she came to you with. Yeah, I know she got tattoos all over. I'm just showing a few of the most prominent ones, but she got tattoos all over, man. So Travis, Hunter, like I say, these dummies in the pro leagues, the white folk take their money on one end, the hoes get their money on the other, and these dudes just spend their whole damn lives just basically messed up in the game. So that's basically it. That's basically it. These folks sit up here and it is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. This is who, you take a look at this picture right here, and this is who he is entrusting to have his back to raise his son, and then you see what they doing. Let me freeze frame that right there so you all can see what caliber of female he married. Got to deal with this for the next damn 15 years at least. That's with Brittany. Wait till the other chick leaves. Oh boy, there goes 2 decades of his damn life. Now let me go a little bit further here. I want to go a little bit further because once again, the internet unfortunately is not a place for critical thinkers. It's certainly not a place for mature thinkers. It's a place for people to put up clickbait headlines. And, you know, like I say, it's just, I guess they need the AdSense money that bad. Looking silly doesn't bother them because they need the AdSense money that bad. There's been a bunch of clowns talking about PJ Washington. Oh, Brittany is mad now. PJ Washington, he signed a $90 million extension for his contract. They got a $90 million extension with the Dallas Mavericks, man. He played Brittany smooth. And I'm just like, boy, I certainly hope there's not a bunch of ignoramus jackasses like you around if I ever need to negotiate a business deal. I hope that people as stupid as you aren't around. Folks, she got the damn kid. When he gets paid, she gets paid.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
How stupid you fellas gotta be. When he get paid, she gets paid. When he get a boost up, she get a boost up. And got morons, the same idiots who be talking about, this ball player got divorced and his wife gonna take half and the kids. Then you saw this right here. Oh, well, you know, he ain't gotta pay no more. What kind of morons and ignoramuses are getting YouTube accounts today? Who in the world's doing that? In the chat room, Aquarius baby, I'm so glad you said that. Let me go ahead. As a matter of fact, I've had a few folks here who questioned some things. I'm so glad you said that. So let me go ahead and get the Zoom link up here since they've got a lot on their minds. I've been starving them long enough. Usually I would have my monologue here for the first hour, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get them up here. I'm so glad they said that because you see, the problem with the internet is that people aren't required to have accountability for the things that they say. And so the internet has just become a giant cesspool of misinformation, disinformation, guesswork, and just saying things because they think they're smart. And then when you actually require folks to show, okay, go ahead and show us the evidence. Oh, well, you know, I ain't think of it that way. And it's like, you know, when you walk into a court of law, last thing in the world you want to be is, oh, well, you know, I didn't think of it that way right there. I didn't know about that. And yet they'll pop up in a comment section. They'll pop up in a video. They'll say things, but then will you hold them accountable for that and say, okay, I'm betting my life on this that you are correct. And if you're not correct, what are you going to do to reimburse me if I listen to you and it's not correct? Now what? Now what? Because folks don't think about that kind of thing. There's nasty little secrets in there. Come on up here. The Zoom link has been pinned to the top of the chat room. We are ready. Bring out your other YouTubers that sit up here and say silly things. We're ready. Okay, so far nobody on Zoom, folks. By the way, everybody that I called out tonight from the beginning of the program, hey fella, it's you too now. You said you disagree. The Zoom link is now open. It's time to call in so that everybody can openly hear in front of the world whether this is just a big cesspool of misinformation with folks just pulling crap out of their ears or whether there's actually reality behind it. Not your turn yet, Miko. I just want Aquarius and Ali to be on Zoom right now. Everybody else, when it's open for everyone, I'll let you know. That'll probably be after I get to Russell Wilson and Ciara. What? After I get to Russell Wilson and Ciara, I'll open it up for everybody else. But right now, Aquarius, baby, and Ali, folks, they're not on yet. They're not on yet. And this is the problem with the internet. People will make YouTube channels, they'll make videos, they'll say outright garbage, and they'll say it with conviction. They didn't put a question mark on it. They didn't say, I wonder. They didn't say, I think. Why? They said it with conviction. That what they're saying is correct. And see, the problem is you all can't hear them speak in their own voices. You all either read their words in your voice or you read them in mine. But if they can sit there and talk, well, and I be thinking about these things here when I was thinking about it there, what really be happening going down is, that you can't really do all that this. Once you hear that, it's like, oh hell, what the hell street corner crackhead preacher, public defender that I find. But don't expect them to back up their words. Don't expect that to happen. I've been doing this going on 2 decades. If it was that specious, somebody would have come up and shut it down by now. There is no call screener. There's nothing between you and me but air and opportunity. And yet it ain't happened. Yeah, because I'm actually accountable. If I say things that are outright garbage and wrong, I got a public image. I got folk, depending on what I say here, the people who listen to me, they have to be able to depend on that. Okay, it's got to be accountable. Some jackass jumps up in the comments section, he's not, who's holding him accountable? He's sitting up here trying to figure out how to pay his cell phone bill. Nobody's holding him accountable. He's going to say something stupid. Ooh, I just figured it was like you. I just figured it was like me. So just a reminder, folks, they haven't got on here yet. Ali, that was not a request, dude. That was not a request. So Ali Shabazz, I'm so glad you in the bed. You're in the bed on your phone right now. Sit back, smile, and dial. Click that link, and let's go ahead and have you come on up, and we can explain. You can explain to all of us what you disagree about. So being in bed did not prevent you from typing in the chat room, which means there's nothing to prevent you from clicking the Zoom link. And let's go ahead and get that hashed out. But by the way, if any of you are actually taking any of these ignoramuses seriously, just peep at the part that, by the way, they're not backing up anything they've said. So don't you be fooled into thinking that internet babble is actually spoken from a position of authority or knowledge. Don't you be deceived into that. If they will not stand up and defend their words, it's, oh, you're just a lying ass on the internet. Oh, okay, you're one of those. Yeah, you're one of those weirdos on the internet who just goes off and says garbage. You're one of those weirdos. Oh, okay. All right. All right. You're one of those. Oh, there might be somebody over here on Zoom. There might be. Maybe there is. Let me see if the Zimbabwe broadband comes through. Okay, I'm waiting on the Zimbabwe broadband to connect. The rest of y'all can hear me just fine, but I'm waiting for the Zimbabwe broadband to go ahead and kick in. So they might be able to get it going. Then again, they might not be able to. Okay, Ali, let me get a light on for us here to make sure there's no trolling. Don't worry, nobody's going to see you. No one will see you. It's just me. Nobody else will. Just to make sure there's no trolling.
Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to...
If you need me to email you a light, if you need me to ship you a light bulb, let me know. I'll see if I can Venmo General Electric to send a few light bulbs. Y'all, does Uber Eats deliver light bulbs? What? Does Uber Eats deliver light bulbs? I know they deliver food. Does Uber Eats deliver light bulbs? I might say, does Uber or Lyft deliver that? If they do? Okay, I might have to see if I can get him one. Oh, Instacart? Okay. Yeah, they said, everybody's saying, yeah, they sure do deliver light bulbs. Okay, well.
You see me now?
Okay, we can see you now, sir. Now, what was it you disagreed about that you need to correct me on?
So in the beginning, I was just talking about in the beginning, we don't know the conversation they had earlier.
You heard the conversation.
No, I'm talking about before the camera.
Why does that matter? He was there. He had his son in his arms. Why does he not just walk and keep walking?
Because with a woman, you just said she 5150. So they conversation could have been cool before that.
Why does he have? Okay, let me try this again. Why is he conversing with her at all after he's got his son?
He probably was confused, Jason. He probably was like, "Why are you acting like this now?" A lot of women do that to you. They'll confuse you. First, everything be cool until you get to the spot.
But this isn't anything new.
But
acting out is not new. And the fact that her mama was recording things means there was already a hostile, tense situation to begin with. So everything was not cool before he got over there. That much is obvious.
The way he was looking, he was confused. You could tell he was confused in the beginning.
He looks confused. He's just dopey looking. PJ Washington does not look focused, serious, disciplined. He never does. PJ Washington is resting dope face. You've never seen a picture of PJ Washington that looked like a competent male. He looks like that stupid stork from Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny. He looks like that. He looks like that. So no, sir, that's just resting dope face.
Now, what I do agree with you on, he stood there too long. He did ask her for the bag. She didn't give him the bag. Once she didn't give him the bag, I would have just left.
Well, yes, that's my point, is that when he walked off and he stopped in the middle of the driveway, let me go ahead and replay this for you all. He stops in the middle of the driveway for what?
With you. So actually show up and do something.
This part right here, why is he doing this?
Because he does this every time.
Now there he is stopping to say y'all coddle him too much. Why? Why did he was already walking and he stops so he can have a back and forth with them. Now, brother, tell me what part of that makes sense.
Like I said, that part right there don't make sense. The only part I was disagreeing with is in the beginning. He looked like he was he was a deer in the headlight. He didn't understand what was going on at that moment because we don't know their conversation before that. That's the only one I disagree with.
Okay, but brother, he's been picking up his son. The only thing you're there for is to pick up your son. You don't have a conversation with Brittany Renner over anything.
We don't know that. We only thing we can do is basically just say what happened before then. We don't know what happened before then.
But brother, it doesn't matter what happened before then. He had his son in his arms. He's not.
I get that.
Okay, what you're trying to imply is that there was some information that he needed to get from her that was preventing him from just walking off from the very doorstep.
But she did have the bag. He did ask for the bag. And once she didn't give him the bag.
But first of all, beyond the bag, yeah. Okay. But that wasn't what he stopped for. She talking about, okay, we ain't gonna have this, and I'm like, okay, that's a problem number one right there. But problem number two is the back and forth thing started at the door. That wasn't the end of it. He was already back and forthing with her.
But wasn't that her father at the door?
Sir, I don't care if it's Scatman Crothers at the door. The bottom line is that he's got his son in his arm. When he said, hand me the backpack, he should have just stood there for that. I'd have stood there about 3 or 4 seconds. I'm like, hey, I'm not here to have a conversation. Just hand me the backpack. And if they refuse, okay, so glad y'all are recording that. And then you leave.
I see where you're coming from, but he probably had, it's probably some scenarios in that. He probably had respect for the father just to hear her out. It's a couple of things. Okay, did you hear what you just said? Well, he probably had respect for the father. Okay, then he can talk to dad. Yeah, but Jason, at that moment, he didn't know what was going on.
But brother, okay, he's had 4 years of Brittany Renner's hot sauce. She's been a problem since day one and since the kid was born. This was not her first incident acting out. This is a pattern of behavior. She does it all the time. PJ has complained about this before, remember? When they first broke up after she had the kid. He's been complaining about Brittany Renner's behavior and fighting over the son since the kid was born. So, brother, this wasn't a first-time incident, nor was this an isolated incident. This has been ongoing. So now you're talking as if, oh, well, this is the first time, as if he doesn't know what to expect from her.
Okay, I get that part, Jason. But he got to deal with her for 18 years plus. You know what I'm saying?
What's
female emotions is like the seasons, man. It's on and it's off.
Okay, but you're talking like he's in a committed relationship to her. The phrase you just used, that the phrase you just used, that is a phrase that you use with a female who is in a committed relationship to you, because you are her man. You are her protector and provider. Therefore, that rationale and leeway that you just attempted to invoke, that applies to your man. PJ Washington is your baby daddy. He's not your man.
But Jason, he do have a relationship with her. What? As far as the kid, Jason.
Okay, but sir, what you just explained was not a co-parenting relationship. What you just explained was a romantic. You just explained the considerations. Listen carefully. You just explained considerations for a romantic relationship, not for a co-parenting one.
That's not what I'm saying, Jason. That's not what I'm saying.
Co-parenting means that your job is to focus on your parenting. Yes. What you just said is, wait a minute, we got to take into consideration what she's going through. No. That's literally what you just said. I'm going to repeat your words. I'm not putting them in your mouth. I'm repeating them. Well, woman's emotions flowing ebb like the tide do. That's telling me that I have to be considerate of her feelings.
Would you agree with this? I'm not saying you can be considerate of her feelings. We don't know the conversation before that.
That doesn't matter. He's there to pick up his son. Whatever you all discussed before he picked up his son, that is not under the purview of the court and society. Him standing in that doorway, that's not PJ Washington standing there. That is the court and the society's edict standing there. Anything that was said before that, that's not, you are not barred or bound to that. Whatever y'all say on the phone, you're not bound to that. Him standing there to get his son, you're legally, morally, and socially bound to this. So that's why whatever y'all said before doesn't matter. I don't care if they were on the phone talking about, boy, if you get your wife up out of here, I'm going to tear you up. We going to get it on. He's like, yeah, baby, let's do that. When he shows up at the door, that is null and void. It doesn't matter what y'all say on the phone. That's not binding when he stands in that door. The only thing binding at that door is them having sex with each other is optional. Them arguing with each other is optional. Handing that child over to him on this day, that ain't optional. That's not something we debate about, we converse about, we negotiate. No, not this. So it doesn't matter whether a conversation on the phone before this went good or whether it went bad. That does not change the legal requirement. Whether they had a great conversation or an awful one. It has no bearing on what she has to do when he shows up. Now, if he knows that she utilizes these interactions because she wants to pick at him, you're supposed to be sensible enough. Okay, I know she's going to try to pick at me because she's unhappy because she's sitting here living with her parents.
Oh, please.
And he's sitting on a $100 million contract while she's sitting there with her parents going into her 30s with no prospects of life getting any better. So, okay, dude, you're supposed to leave her salty, standing there in the doorway. It's like, yeah, baby, you gonna keep getting it. You gonna keep getting this right here. This what you gonna get. He didn't do that. He's trying to have a power play with her and an ego play, and that's why he was standing in the door. When he asked for the hand, the only thing I'm gonna say is when he asked for the backpack, that should have been the only thing he said. That was it. He doesn't say that. He says that and then immediately walks off, but obviously he's walking off and arguing with them while he's walking off. So he's not leaving. And I wouldn't really care about the backpack, to be totally honest. He's 3 years old. He's not going to school. I don't even think you can get in the head start at 3 years old. And your daddy and your stepmom ought to have plenty enough money and clothes for whatever the hell you need. So what's in that backpack that's so indispensable? I don't know. I would have asked for it once, stood there for 4 or 5 seconds just so it's established that I wouldn't even say a word to her. I'm standing there, and if she don't hand it over, I'm not talking to you. I'm not conversing to you. Hand me the backpack, and if 4 or 5 seconds she doesn't do that, okay, I'm leaving. Right there. You know what? Keep the backpack. I'll go to Target, okay, Walmart, wherever, TJ Maxx. I'll go buy him one. Buy him a backpack, give him some new clothes. We ain't got to worry about you. This is nothing to be standing there talking to her over, is my point. There's nothing to talk about. The only thing you can do is sit there and argue with this hyena. There's nothing to talk about. Hop in the damn Escalade, go to TJ Maxx, buy the kid all the backpacks you want and a bunch of clothes and some lollipops or whatever y'all gonna do. Why are we not just doing that? Why are we saying anything to her? Knowing that that's the only power she has is, quote, getting on your nerves. He knows what the hell he got pregnant. How is she able to get, because that's what you're really defending is her right to be able to get on his nerves. And it's like, okay, that's not a defect for her. That's a defect for him.
Only thing I'm offended is him going to the house and then him going to the car. Him saying, don't treat him like a baby. I don't see nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you.
He's talking
I don't see
to
nothing
her.
wrong with that.
He's talking to her in the middle of the driveway talking about y'all are coddling him too much. Why?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean,
what's wrong with it? He's sitting there
yelling
yelling back and forth with them with his 3-year-old. Okay, first of all, here's what's wrong with it. He's got his 3-year-old son in his arms. What? Here's the first problem. He's doing this with his 3-year-old son sitting in his arms. You don't see a problem. You don't see it. You don't. What's that got to do with anything?
Because I'm saying the language barrier. He's bound as he could say, "Hey, y'all coddling him." You don't see what they were doing to him up until that point.
But brother, he has. But
for a moment.
But that's the problem.
He didn't know what was going on. He figured out what was going on. Okay, let me go grab my son. Let me go to the car.
But the problem is that when you are co-parenting, that's the problem you run into. You don't have control over the other parent coddling and spoiling your kids.
But you can make suggestions. You can tell them, hey,
you can't make suggestions to a baby mama.
Why you can't make suggestions?
Because this is what you'll end up doing on my screen here. This is what you'll end up doing. This is why you can't do it. You can. Where's your enforcement mechanism? If you quote make a suggestion and all she wants to do is argue, what's the point of making suggestions to somebody who? What is the point of making a suggestion to somebody who just wants to fight?
Arguing is back and forth.
And they're going back and forth, sir. They were going back and forth from the very door. Were you not listening?
No, they wasn't going back to the car.
Yes, they were. They were going back and forth from the very moment they got there in the door.
This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm going to record this.
That's back. That's him fourth. That's back. That's him fourth. That's him back. That's him fourth.
This is the third time he's done.
He's saying what's going on. He don't know what's going on. He like, what you doing now? You recording me? What's going on?
Brother, he could see them recording when he opened up the door.
But Jason,
he saw them recording when he opened the door.
So he's trying to figure out what's going on. Why are you doing this now? Okay, I see you doing this. Let me go grab my son. Let me get out of it. Let me get up out of here.
But he didn't.
Follow him to the car.
Brother, but he didn't. He didn't walk off as soon as he saw they were recording. He stopped not once, but twice. And by the way, when he was walking away, he's talking to her the whole time.
He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show
there
up.
He's talking.
Actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's
so let me ask you
going back and forth with her even while he's walking off.
You would rather her paint a narrative of him instead of him speaking up about it?
Sir, the narrative, what does the narrative look like with him and his new wife sitting up here cursing and yelling at folks? What does that look like?
I disagree. Up until that, once he got in that car, he shouldn't have said nothing else. He should just backed out. Now I agree with you with that one. But up until that point, she's literally almost in the car at that point. She's in the car and the girlfriend is in the car. And we know, we from the hood. We know if we had a chick in the car and your chick is arguing with you, your mom is calling out her name, she might get out that car.
Okay, the bottom line is he was there to pick up his son, not to have a conversation, not to have a debate over parenting styles, not to have a debate over preferences. That's not what he's there for. Anything other than that is a deviation. This is not a woman who was a model citizen before that day. She was a constant, perpetual problem before that day. So this was simply par for the course and typical of her behavior. If you already know this, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Now, let me flip. Can I give you a flip side for a moment? Let's say, I'm just saying, let's say you was dating a baby mother, right? You probably would never, but I'm just saying. And she's picking up her son. And the dude is doing the same exact thing in the car, yelling and screaming at you. Are you just going to sit there and be like, all right?
In the words of Lil Wayne, I'm quoting him of all people, I don't worry about what people say to me. I worry about people do to me. So, dude, I'm not never going to stand anywhere. In all my years, you all have never seen me standing around somewhere yelling back and forth to somebody, brother. I'm from one of the murder capitals of America. We don't stand around yelling at folk like that. We really don't. If I'm standing somewhere and you yelling at me, I'm like, okay, I figure this is about to go left. So I don't really want to do a bunch of talking.
Yeah, that's why I say most of us are gonna get out the car. Me, I'm gonna get out the car.
I'm not gonna get out of anything. Who are you for me to be getting out for?
Hey.
Who are you
in that scenario,
brother? Do you?
If I'm not saying anything to nobody,
why would I get out of my car? That's like getting out of your car for panhandlers. I mean, I don't have any reason to get out and argue with somebody's baby daddy. I'm not going to argue.
I didn't say nothing about arguing, but I guess we just see that.
I don't have any relationship with him, and I have no reason for him. He's got nothing I want. He ain't got nothing to offer me. So what I'm saying is that everything that you've named, this is all completely unnecessary and unavoidable drama. Why are we as grown people making excuses for complicating our lives unnecessarily? There's not a single bit of this that needed to happen. Get your son, hop in the Escalade, and show your son what a sensible, sane, peaceful, civilized house is like, so that he sees there's a clear contrast between you and his mama. That's not what he's doing. From the moment he picked up his son, he's another hoe in the room, and they're going back and forth clucking. And that's what his son is witnessing during his most formative years, his most formative, impressionable years. And this is the primal environment that he's being introduced to. He doesn't even understand the English language, but he understands people yell at each other and they're hostile. Yeah. Now he understands that, and that's because of his father.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one. On that part, when they was in the car cursing at each other, nah, I totally agree with you on that.
No, the hostility was at the front door. As soon as she starts talking hostile, you're supposed to cut that off right there. She's like, this is what we're not doing. No, what we're not doing is arguing. That's what we're not doing. I don't care what you got to say after that. The only thing we're not doing, we're not arguing about anything. I can't pick up my son. I'm not here to argue with you.
Yeah, I mean, whether he said it or not, he that was his energy in the beginning. That was his energy in the beginning. Her following him to the car. I mean, I don't agree with none of that, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, she followed him to the car ostensibly to give him the backpack that she didn't hand to him in the first place.
Yeah.
And my whole point about it is, okay, once that happened right there, load up the kid, close the doors. I'm standing there the whole time. I'm not saying anything to any of them. It's like when the police show up, you're drunk, you're high, you're calling the police bastards and Martians and stuff. The police just sitting there watching you wild out. They just waiting for the damn SUV to show up to go take you to the police station. They neither get paid, nor is it helpful for them to go back and forth with you. You're high, you're stupid, you're drunk. Why would I want to sit? What are we conversing about? Conversation is for sensible people. Conversation is not for a bipolar baby mama. And as I said from the beginning, there's nothing you're going to resolve in that driveway. You've had 5 years now. There's nothing to resolve. And even if there were, you're not going to resolve it here. That's the problem. Why don't we talk? There's nothing to talk about because there's no way in the world I'm going to resolve anything with you in this driveway. And take a look at what happened as evidence of that. All it did was get her what she wanted. Brittany is upset. She is a bundle of hostility. And all you did was give her something to vent over. And in my world, it's a whole lot more satisfying to watch your baby mama, if you're going to have one, just she done lost and crashed all the way out. Like how you handle it is the way the baby did. What? Remember what the baby did with his light-skinned chick, Danny Lay? She's sitting up here acting a fool. She yelling. He's like, man, call the police. Help! Somebody help me. I guess you're going to have to crash all the way out. He's recording the whole damn thing and left her sitting there looking stupid. That's the way you handle that. Right there. That's how you handle that. He didn't go back and forth with her. No back and forth with her. No threatening. No name calling. No nothing. That was it. Let her crash all the way out. Leave Brittany sitting there bummy as hell with her parents. It's just like, hey, y'all, this is how it ended up. It ended up just like this right here. But the problem is when you're a man who doesn't know when you're winning. Or at least when you've cut your losses. He doesn't even know how to cut his losses. That's the issue. Yeah. So it's and the problem is you're doing all of this from the moment he opened the door in front of his son. He's not thinking, there was no part of that that was protecting his son. None of it. There's no part of talking to Brittany that protects your son. She does not care that she's a mother. She doesn't care. She doesn't care what harm she does to the child. She doesn't care. She treats the child like a pet. Not even a nice pet, like a snake or a rat. She doesn't care that she gave birth. And the problem is, he's acting like he doesn't care either.
Yeah.
From the moment he opened the door.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. From the moment that he opened the door, let me check and see. I got this is 40 up here. Where's Aquarius? Where is it? I don't know where Aquarius went, but in any case, I don't know who this is 40 is. This is 40. You got 5 seconds to go ahead and pop up. This is 40. You got 5 seconds to pop up. Okay, 40, go ahead and turn your mic on, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Jason,
point down, sir. I don't see who you are.
Oh, you want it on my face?
There you go. All right.
How are you, sir?
What's on your mind, sir?
I'm a major fan, longtime listener. I really enjoy your work. I mean, I can give you flowers all day, but I have an issue that is directly related to the subject today. And it's almost impossible to get some real man advice on how I should be moving forward. The men in my family are not living the lives that I would want to live. So their advice is pretty useless. And been following your perspective for so long. I would just love if you could give me some advice.
Okay, brother. Well, I don't have a problem with doing that. Can you hang on here for a little bit because I want to finish about Ciara? Let me go ahead and finish about that, and then I'll bring you back on here because I want to get to the Ciara situation. But one last thing here, one last thing I want to jump back to. In case you all couldn't make it out, once again, this is Brittany's mother that you're about to hear here. The one talking about get the hell out my driveway and $175,000 on your hoe. This is Brittany Renner's white mama.
Put $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 of that goes. Get out your car. Get out the car.
That's Brittany's mom talking about get out the car.
Auntie, chill.
That wasn't Brittany saying that. That was Brittany's mom talking about get out the car. First of all, baby, at your age, what you gonna do besides get thumped on? That's the first thing, but yeah, that's mom. And furthermore, if that was Brittany's dad in the door, I don't know if it was, but if that was her father in the door, why wasn't he checking these women? He got those women sitting up here acting a fool outside of the house. I don't know if it's his house or not. But by the way, there were no men here. There were no men. That's the issue that I got. There were no men here. Welcome to the 21st damn century. Don't tell me nothing about a chick. All you internet clowns out there who spent years talking about she needs to come from a two-parent household. Ask her about her relationship with her dad. Brittany Renner would tell you she got a great relationship with her dad. Don't tell me no mess about the two-parent household. I'm taking a look at the quality and caliber of the so-called men raising Gen Z and millennials. And they ain't about garbage. So stop sitting up here trying to come up with what you think is some slick, nifty rationale that gets you out of having to actually examine the situation. Take a look at the caliber of so-called men raising these females in the two-parent homes. Not just the single mother homes. The single mother homes are the ditch, and the two-parent homes are broke down on the side of the road. But from what I see for the majority of these so-called two-parent homes, the dad is some damn doormat who gets run over by the damn females. He runs and rules nothing. The daughters are world-class Olympic gold medal winning sluts, and he's just sitting there watching his bloodline sink into oblivion and hasn't said a word and didn't lift a finger while his daughter gets bred like a damn Doberman. And he ain't saying nothing. And this is typical of your so-called two-parent homes today. So stop with this garbage. You're just desperately groping for a rationale that, well, I have an answer. You don't have an answer because you won't look at what's actually happening. This is your two-parent home. As if that's some guarantee. Well, if there's a man in the house, have you opened your damn eyes to see the caliber of so-called men? Have you even watched it? Speaking of the caliber of men, oh boy, but wait, it gets worse.
What? Damn!
Oh man, this out of TMZ. Oh, just in case you thought that baby mama warfare was over. Oh, Ciara is still out there. Ciara's still out there, and TMZ is reporting that at some point, probably in the last couple of years, Ciara put the name Wilson on Future's son.
Oh, please.
So just in case you thought that Ciara was done sniping at Future, just in case you thought she was content to just let it be, just in case you thought she wasn't still, people, listen to me. I'm not here to police your sex habits. I'm not here to police who you lay up with. Dude, without me getting, I want to be I'm going to try to be respectful here. I'm going to try to be respectful, okay? Don't try to do it. All I'm going to say is if I got a phone call right now offering a menage a trois with Brittany and any other relevant baby mamas I'm talking about tonight, dude, all you'll hear is, you'll probably hear the front door open after about 3-4 minutes, and you'll hear my quad pipes on the Escalade crank up. PJ Washington don't know what to do with his quad pipes. I'm going to show him what to do with them. Oh, PJ, I'm going to show you what to do with some quad pipes, my dude. If I get the DM from the two of them, are you kidding me? Hey, baby, can you leave the kids with PJ for the weekend? And for the other chick, you know, just tell him you got a tour date. That old lame nigga, he'll go for it. He won't ask no questions. Yeah, just tell him, hey, this weekend is all right. That's me screeching up on the freeway. I'm getting the first thing with wings. Hell, if they close enough, I might not fly. It might take me too long. Might not fly. It might take me too long. But I'm not here to police your habits, nor am I here to tell you, oh, I would never do such a thing. Get the hell up out of here. Find a YouTuber who is stupid or dishonest. What the hell are you talking about? Tell Brittany Renner, hey, bring that psycho goodness on over here. But I'm smarter than PJ. I will give her the address to the Four Seasons, not the address to the Black House. Can you lay up and send her ass home so that she can keep that insanity in her house? Not have it bleeding over and following you around. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I wouldn't when you know damn well I would. And so would you. Especially if there was 2 or 3 of them. I'm like, oh, hell no. Where's the freak off?
Alrighty then.
Are you kidding me? Only thing I'm going to turn down is my collar. Might not do that. But what I'm saying is, when you stop doing that, that's when you invite this insanity in. Lay up with everybody. Get handcuffed to no one. That's the rule. If you gonna live that life. Dude, do it like Leo DiCaprio. Do it like Brad Pitt. Lay up with everybody. But get trapped with no one. Yes, Joyce, that's the problem. There's a bunch of fellas that they get wrapped up in a woman's insanity because she's hot and she's volatile and that stuff is exciting. And so he makes that a fixture in his life. And when it's time to put the genie back in the bottle, he doesn't know how to do it. Now she's running the damn dynamic. Now you stuck in a situation that you can't get up and go home from. I did not say that there would not be insanity. Tiger Woods got into that. He didn't get the chick pregnant. He didn't get her married. And he still ended up with her trying to legally go after him. Okay, but when it was all said and done, Tiger Woods is still sitting at home. And that heifer is still sitting out there trying to figure out if somebody on seekingarrangements.com will answer her DMs. What she's not doing is patting Tiger's pockets down. Now she's not doing that. She's not doing that. And fellas, that if I don't know what to tell y'all anymore, man. There's too many fellas out here looking for a damn mama. They got mommy syndromes and any female that lay up and cuddle with him after sex. Now he's like, well, I can stay here. Dude, she's crazy and look at all this garbage. Well, you know, I'm looking for a hoe with a heart.
Nigga, what?
We got fellas out here looking for a hoe with a heart. I can fix her, Jason. She just needs to be loved properly. The rest of them fellas didn't do it. I'm going to fix this here. Okay, something about to get fixed, all right. She's about to fix your wagon. So this is Ciara engaging in these humiliation rituals. There are so many fellas out here right now who are engaging in these humiliation rituals. Y'all want to talk about the white dudes at the S&M clubs? Y'all need to talk about some of these black fellas out here.
And deal with it.
There's a bunch of fellas out here engaging in humiliation rituals. You got a chick with a crazy ass body count. You got a chick who been slummed through the mud, and you figure, well, if I can just get her off by herself, everything will be fine. Dude, she's still the same slum hoe she was before you met her. Getting her off by herself is not going to change that. But we have fellas who are just, although say the masochistic, they like humiliating themselves. They like degrading themselves. This toxic bonding. Not just trauma bonding, toxic bonding. So she brings you a bunch of mess and, ooh, let me get that right there. I know she faking what she doing, but let me see what that did like. That'd be good. I doofus. Well, just to add insult to injury, folks, just in case you thought things were done, did I call it or did I call it on The Breakfast Club? Oh, man. Now, Ciara is gone, but The Breakfast Club spun the block. The Breakfast Club spun the block. Now, why is she wearing a Los Angeles shirt in New York? Anyway, they spun the block and they wanted to talk about Ciara again. So that just lets you know, yeah, Ciara, yeah, baby, it ain't going well.
Talk about topics. One of the topics that came up was our interview with Ciara. They had some things that they wanted to express about the question that Charlamagne asked Ciara about Russell Wilson when it comes to the lame, not lame conversation. Let's take a listen to first Channing Crowder on our conversation that we had.
Ciara was on The Breakfast Club.
Man, Charlamagne.
Charlamagne being petty. Charlamagne was being messy.
Yeah.
And even when she was answering the question, she was like who? And he said, Channing Crowder.
He should have. I saw it. I did, and I saw answer. And then she want to go back to, but he's a loving person and a great husband. I didn't say he's not a great husband. It's amazing what he's doing with Lil Future. Like, the dude is a good human. He is lame still. I don't know if anybody doesn't understand. They not running me off of this point. She even said it. So who's saying? Because that's their opinion. Yeah, she wasn't going to date Russ back in 2000. Time came forward. She evolved to dating the lame dude. He is a good person, a good human being, but the dude is lame. Y'all know what lame is. He got that moose in his hair. Honestly, bro, y'all looking around because y'all even know I'm right.
Did I call it or did I call it? Furthermore, when you heard the things he brought up, when he said, oh, she said he's a good person and stuff, folk, listen to me. People tune in, they listen to me, they like, damn, that nigga cooking. Let me write this down. It's like, okay. Y'all hear this stuff. You know where they get the game from. You heard, when you hear me isolate those exact sentences, those exact lines, and then other people say it, it's like, okay, pop the collar. Pop the collar. Everybody and their mama is scared to say my name. They're terrified to do it unless they clout chasing. Clout chasing folk trying to get their numbers up. Okay, but the folk who think they made a name of themselves and things like that, they're terrified to say it because they're scared they're going to have to stand by everything else. That's the issue. They're scared they're going to have to stand by everything else I say. You don't have to stand by everything I say, but when I drop the truth, I need you to stand by that. So, yeah. So in case anybody was wondering, so he saw what it was. He saw what it was, and Ciara saw what it was, and yeah, it doesn't feel very good. It does not feel very good. People, there's a whole bunch of mess going on out here right now. There's a whole bunch of mess going on, and my goal is just to get you to stop being involved in the nonsense. Do not get yourself wrapped up in the nonsense. These folks are playing for keeps, and they're playing for blood. They're out for blood and playing for keeps. PJ Washington is going to be fighting with Brittany Renner for the next 2 decades. And mark my words. At some point, Brittany and her mama are going to accuse PJ of assaulting them. What? Mark my words. At some point, that's going to happen. Since she can't get alimony. And if he ever stops acting like the overgrown dork that he is and starts doing what I'm saying to do, next up is they going to try to figure out how they can try to legally get you in trouble, and let's see if we can wrestle some dollars out of you that way. So mark my words, it's coming. It's going to happen. I didn't say it's going to succeed, but I am saying they're going to make a run for it. Especially as she's as humiliated as she is. Vivica Fox would have tried that if 50 Cent had gotten her pregnant, but he didn't. So she couldn't run that play. Brittany and them, because they've got reasons and excuses to keep coming back, is going to create a situation where they keep doing that. They're going to keep coming back and keep coming back around, and he's giving them everything they need to do so. Now, my man, this is 40. I don't know where this is 40 went. I told him to wait there, but he jumped off. I guess he had to pay the electric bill. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Jermaine up here on Zoom. All right, Jermaine, what's on your mind?
Let me pause this. Hold on. Sorry about that. But the main thing I wanted to say was
how many baby mamas you got?
I have 0 baby mamas.
Okay, well, he said he aborted them all. What? All right. What's on your mind?
My main point was that I feel like it was a whole setup from the jump. I don't think it was anything PJ could have done. 61% of Amber Alerts are caught on the non-custodial parent. So I feel like no matter what he did in that situation, she would have just simply called the police.
Okay, brother, but my point is, what's to prevent her from doing that after he drove off? Because what you're saying is that him standing there talking to her was somehow diffusing that. That scenario you just gave, what you're implying is that if he stands there and argues with her, that'll prevent that from occurring. But that's what you're implying.
If I was him, I would have drove off probably and then called my lawyer. But I see he handled it bad. I do agree he handled it bad.
Right, but it starts with him arguing with her because the only thing it can do with that is escalate.
I don't think he should have ever got out the car. But I think he got out the car because the mom was holding the baby on the hip. A 4-year-old can walk to a car.
I agree, but in this scenario here, that wasn't the problem. Because they handed the boy over. Well, they were recording. They were smart enough to know we have to hand the boy over because if it looks like we're not doing it, that's custodial interference. So, yeah, they were recording it, but they were recording this for him to do something stupid. And what I'm saying is that was where the problem came from. She was counting on him not being able to just walk away, and he wants to have a back and forth with her and get the last word. How do you get the last word with some bipolar barbarian who's willing to go chasing your Escalade as it goes down the street, screaming and yelling at you? How do you get the last word with that? Furthermore, why are you even trying?
That I do agree with. And then my last point, and I'll land my plane, is that PJ Washington, if he was a knucklehead like a lot of the other basketball players, like Anthony Edwards, and he had a track record of doing this, he clearly married his wife for a reason. Because he wants to be a married man and have his situation. However, so I just think he got a bad deal with Brittany Renner, and he needs to stay far away from her.
Well, what caliber of female did he marry?
I hope it's better than Brittany. I really,
sir. Okay, you must have missed the whole beginning of the program, or you ain't seen the video.
I seen the video. I mean, even her jumping over the seat, I just think they were baited. I mean, I don't think they was even stand by this behavior.
Okay, sir, what type of mature adults get quote unquote baited by a Brittany Renner? Who does that?
I mean, I think it was just a bad 2 minutes. If I thought he constantly did that, I think it was just a horrible 2 minutes. And it looks horrible on film. You can't defend it.
Yeah, it looks horrible because when you have If you start arguing with a clown, you know the statement. If you argue with a fool, people are not going to be able to tell the difference.
Like, he even said, suck my dick under his breath. Like, he said it under his breath.
Okay, and then the mama's talking about, what did you say? Say that again. And then he repeats it. And I'm saying, first of all, that's not a good look, period. But second of all, dude, you're saying that right over your son. Are you out of your damn mind?
That told me he was unprepared.
Unprepared? What about immature, brother? You talking about unprepared? Okay, what was he supposed to be prepared for?
I think he expected to grab his son and walk off. And then it just went left. Somehow he just wasn't prepared.
He came there to argue with her.
I don't think that. I think his defense mechanism in your stomach sometimes tell you to argue.
Brother, okay.
Came there with the phone recorded, knowing that, hey, we're going to berate him with a whole bunch of random stuff. When he was on the phone saying, I'm on my way, I don't think they said, hey, last week our son was crying and I don't like that. I think Brittany said, we're going to wait till at the door to unload all this anger on him.
Brother, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, that explains that.
But yeah, I could be. But
okay, you said that. That explains that. Listen to me. You ain't been around enough baby mamas and baby daddies long enough, apparently. This is naivete talking. A woman does not get pregnant by accident. Never no way. This is a lie that you all have told to you. You're better off if you learn this and accept this very, very quickly. Women do not get pregnant by accident. And they absolutely do not get pregnant by a professional athlete by accident. They got pregnant by him because they were trying to lock something down and they wanted the system behind them. And he wasn't giving them the ability to do that, or there's two doors they want, give me a baby and give me a ring. And if I can't get both, I'll take one. Baby mamas and baby daddies, regardless of socioeconomic status, they get each other pregnant because they're playing this power play game with each other. Neither one of them is really serious the way they should be, so they're really just trying to get leverage on each other to force the other person to do something that they really don't want to do. So you got two people trying to coerce somebody else into something they don't want to do. You all need to accept that that's the reality. It's not a misunderstanding. It's not there's more to it. No, it's not. Whether it's the hood rat and the local drug dealer, or whether it's Brittany Renner and a ball player, PJ likes having sex with you. He's not trying to be married to you. Brittany has been laid on by dozens of men, and she's looking now to cash out because she realizes ain't no money in being a hoe no more. Not at her point. You're streaking towards 30 like a bug heading towards a windshield. She's looking for something tangible that she can cash in on, and them butt cheeks are not paying bills anymore. So now she goes for the desperation play that they all go for. And you're dismissing that key element of it. These people didn't get into drama-filled relationships by accident. This is a part of a plan on the part of both of them. And after the baby is born, the conflict is still ongoing. It didn't stop because she got pregnant. It didn't stop because she gave birth. The fight is still ongoing.
Definitely agree with that. And now it seems like just last week she was with the Kevin Gates dude, so it's just bad situation.
She was never with Kevin either.
Whatever they had going on.
Kevin played the game properly. Play with her psychoses. See what them worn out 30-year-old butt cheeks feel like, even if you last in line, and keep it pushing. She wants to call herself a wife, whatever. Say whatever the hell you want to. He told her, I'm Muslim, okay. She can believe whatever in the world she wants to. Kevin is not marrying you, and he's not going to get you pregnant. If you thought you were going to pull a Ciara. What? Damn! Yeah, Brittany tried Ciara's prayer. How'd that work out?
And then she picked the wrong type of dude.
She tried Ciara's prayer. She figured she was going to go from PJ to Kevin Gates. And she found out, no, the only thing you can do is lay up until he gets worn out. And they released a bunch of phone calls. She was not the only one he was sleeping with the whole damn time. But the entire time that she was having the Kevin Gates experience, she was never the only one ever. And he made that clear from day one. It was never like that. So Kevin got his ticket to ride the Brittany Renner roller coaster. And when the ride was over, he got the hell off. And that's what you're supposed to do. And that's why she going nuts on PJ, because she doesn't have any leverage on Kevin. She does have it on PJ.
I think it's almost like a chain reaction event. Like, if it was all sweet with Kevin, he wouldn't even have no problems. It would have been fine.
PJ wouldn't have any problems, or Kevin wouldn't?
PJ wouldn't have any problems if Kevin Gates and her were still frolicking around as fake Muslim couples.
I disagree with that, because PJ is still too relevant for that.
Even, I wonder, how did she find out about the 170K? Because if she never found out about that, that might be another thing.
I mean, it depends on what it is. Him and that chick are always posting up online for things. So folks who the world is not real unless they post it on social media. It didn't really happen if they didn't post it on social media. That's a problem.
That shocked me. When I heard, I'm like, how did she know 170,000 down to the penny? Or is she just making that up? Like,
I mean, it may be for a purchase here or a purchase there, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is, you supposed to leave Brittany and her mama standing there in the rain in the driveway, mad as hell. That's justice. Do you know how many fellas out here right now would cut their damn right leg off to have their baby mama and their baby mama's mama out there crashing out and acting a damn fool in the driveway, and you just drive off while they sitting there looking stupid like Smokey and the Bandit? When do you accept that you're winning? When do you accept that you got out ahead as well as you can? But you can't accept it if you are still angry about the way things turned out too. Now that's the problem. You can't accept it if you're young and you're immature and you are unwilling to accept, dude, she played your dumbass.
Yeah, he didn't have the foresight to see this coming at all.
She's going to be off in your ass pockets, taking your money by force for the next 15 years. Everything you get, you're going to have to knock off thousands and thousands of dollars a month for her. And she can get on social media and talk about you like a dog and run you down, this, that, and the other. You're just going to have to hold these L's because that was what you asked for. And he was cheesing like a big-ass monkey on that damn countertop with her. Okay, dude, like I said last week, first you smile, now you cry.
Yeah,
first you smile, now you cry. Okay. In his point, if you really, brother, this would be an insult to you and me. If your woman is sitting here in the damn driveway arguing with her baby daddy with you sitting there in the driver's seat, what the hell's going on here?
I don't even know why he brought his wife. That was just crazy.
Okay, but my point is, if you witness that, what are y'all doing? If that relationship is finished and done, what the hell y'all talking about? What are you talking about, arguing about, conversing about? What are you doing?
The one thing I really wanted to check PJ on was his wife. Really, like, I don't know why she tried to jump over the seat, but I'm so glad that didn't end badly.
Because she's a single mom that he married, and off
that's
we
why
go.
Like, you tripping, dog. You supposed to have your lady in check. She should have never been there.
Bro, how do you keep a tatted up single mom in check? How do you do that?
I have no clue about the other lady. I don't even follow her.
I do.
I didn't know that, but yeah.
He's got a type. He went off and got another tatted up, light-skinned Instagram thought and said, okay, let's marry her because I want the world to know I can pull another bad broad. And he has absolutely no consideration whatsoever for the quality of female. Just whether or not she looks good enough to get likes. This is where we are. And this one was able to get him married. So that's it. She has access to the kingdom now.
At that level, you don't think you can get a female who's not crazy, but with money?
I don't think that PJ can.
Or do you think it's a vetting thing? Like,
no, PJ is a dunce. PJ's an idiot. Please, brother, he's never going to be the chief of neurosurgery at any hospital anywhere. He's one of these mouth breathers. Take a look at all of his pictures. He walks around with his mouth agape all the time. He's another big dumb dunce. He's just another dumb dunce. If you can ask him 2 + 2 and he doesn't make a complete ass of himself on the way, or he doesn't have to think it over for a few moments, I'll be shocked. And females know to focus on it. Look, athletic ability has nothing to do with intellect. That's a fluke of genetics, especially with basketball. No man has conscious control of how tall he gets. So if you have the right height and the right build to play basketball, brother, that's a fluke of genetics. That in no way speaks for your critical thinking skills, your logic, your reasoning, much less your emotional maturity. That says nothing for any of those things. And the fact that we've created a society that's able to use you as a racing horse, well, guess what? A racing horse doesn't have to know how to think critically either. The team owners do. You're an employee of the team owners until they're done with you. Well, Jason, he got a big contract. Nigga, that's not him. To all the dummies out there talking about his $90 million contract, that ain't him. He's got an agent. The agent gets a percentage of what he gets. So they have agents. The team owners and the agents are the smart ones. The athletes, by and large, are the dummies. His job is he gets an agent to represent this racehorse. He negotiates the contract because you're too stupid to do it. And then off they go. So that's the last break you're going to get. And what I'm saying is you can tell the quality of a man by the quality of the females that he entrusts his future to. He entrusted his future to Brittany Renner. That went feet up and turns right around and hands it over to another chick from Instagram with a kid. And tattoos on her butt cheeks this time. Those are the females that he considers to be worthy of entrusting his future to.
Yeah, he's on the Zion Williamson side of the game.
How's that turn out for Zion? He's got full-blown stalkers now. What?
Him and Zion deserve to be teammates.
Zion has full-blown stalkers. I'm not talking about the porn chick, y'all. He got another chick running around doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You can look it up. He's got full-blown stalkers.
Do you think these guys are just like, what's come on, it gotta be something. You can't tell me they just get millions of dollars to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yes, because they're socially awkward, they're dumb, they can't hold a conversation with a lamppost. The only thing they're good for is a check. Remember, all these females, take a look at their text messages. He gonna get me a Bentley. He gonna get me a Benz. He gonna get me a Richard Mille. That's what their text messages said. The porn chick who crashed out, what was her complaint? You supposed to give me a handbag. You supposed to give me a Richard Mille. You bought this other chick. They know what they're getting, dude. These are all professional whores, not even hoes, whores. And the athletes are easy marks because he's got way more money than he needs. So now, because he doesn't have interpersonal skills, he has to buy friendship and buy companionship. So if he were broke, there wouldn't really be a reason to be around him. You can't have a stimulating conversation with him. No female has ever even said how smart PJ Washington is and never will. So, brother, they got to get by with that. So they become grown man babies with no skill, no interpersonal skills whatsoever. And all they're really wrapped for, there's only a certain type of female who's going to give you the time of day. There's only a certain type of female who is going to spend any time with you, and none of them will be invested in you. They're all going to be looking for what they can get from you.
Do you think those guys should take the Cristiano Ronaldo route? Because I think he has like a son, a surrogate or something like that, where he has full rights to his kids. To dudes who making 90, 100 million start going that route.
They're not smart enough or capable of doing that. Because they want a female. When you're a man who cannot get females who genuinely want to spend time with you, they want to be around you. Females wanted Scottie Pippen's money. They want to be around Jordan. And when you talk about cats who can hold a conversation, they're magnetic. You know, when they enter the room, it's not like watching a big dunce walk in. They have a personality. That's different. That's different. When you don't have a personality, brother, you have to buy everything. You have to buy everything.
Even Dennis Rodman, I feel like he fell in that category. They talk about he had that personality.
I mean, Dennis certainly was a madman and a wild and crazy guy to hang out with. And I guess if you're doing drugs or drinking, he's top of your list to bring with you. So on party night, he is very much experienced at it. Sure. Would you want to build a life with him? Hell no.
Nothing long term.
And that's the problem. So, and for guys like Zion Williamson and PJ Washington, it's even worse. They've got the IQ of a grapefruit. So there's no way in the world that a female can submit to him. A female can only get things from him, but she cannot submit to him. He doesn't have a plan for her life. He's got a plan for the weekend. And he just takes it weekend by weekend. And he's demonstrating that he doesn't have maturity or control either, because a man with maturity and control would not be sitting there having a screaming match with his baby mama in the damn rain in the driveway.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs a handler. He's too rich. He should have a nanny do the pickups or something, but maybe he's just too young, dumb, and rich to understand that.
No, he wants to have contact with Brittany, dude. Y'all need to quit making excuses for what you see in front of you. He wants contact with Brittany, just like DDG. He wants contact with Hallie. Y'all have elevated these damn celebrities like there's something special of the other human. They're just like the rest of y'all, man. Hallie wants contact with DDG. They're angry and salty at each other. If this was your 21-year-old younger brother, you'd recognize it for just what it is. You wouldn't think that there's something deeper or something more meaningful. Like, this little young nigga is sprung, and he don't want anybody else grabbing old girl butt cheeks. That's what he on.
You think the wife came because she smelt it too? Like, she smelt like, yeah, he wants to go see her. Because women are like that. If you try to go see another woman, they're going to want to come, especially if they think something's up.
Here is a truism for you and Ali and anybody else. If you are this passionately angry and furious with them, you still care. Brother, my point to everybody here is, did PJ Washington act like he was indifferent? You know the relationship is over when the other person is indifferent. They don't care what you doing, what you saying, what's going on. If you got hit by a Greyhound bus, they would be no more concerned than they are if the neighbor got hit by one. But it's not oh my God. It's not that. Brother, you know the relationship's over when you are indifferent. What you all saw, that is the very opposite of indifferent. PJ is not indifferent. He is very much passionately concerned and involved. If his world was revolving around Aisha, he was already in the truck with her. Why did he let the window down? Your world is supposed to be in that truck, wasn't it? With your wife and your son. If the world is sitting in that truck with you, if your new world was in there, why in the hell ain't he acting like it? Because it isn't. It isn't. And yes, if Aisha's got the brains that God gave a hard-boiled egg, then she recognizes that too. But see, she got to stick it out for 5 years. What? Damn! If Aisha gonna get the bag, she gonna have to stick it out for 5 years, preferably 10. So she got to be in it to win it. She already was a baby mama once, and you don't really get 3 bites of the apple. So if she gonna make it work with him, she got to stick in for she's already got she's coming up on 2 years down. So she gonna have to stick it out. If she can hang in there for another 36 months or so, she's got her 5 years vested. You got the kids. I mean, if you get pregnant a couple more times here, okay, that's it. She can go ahead and cash on out, and that $90 million, at least 10, 20 coming with her.
I didn't even look at it like that till you broke it down like that. But yeah, he's going to have to hold this L. And then he's 0 for 2. That's way deep in the hole.
I mean, he's even worse now because the last one wasn't married. So the damage with that one was limited. This other chick, please understand, y'all, for the morons out there, all the idiots talking about Brittany Renner and the $90 million contract, not saying a damn word about the single mom that he married. He's getting the $90 million contract while he's married to her. He's earning this while he is married to her. Yikes.
I hope he has a prenup. I hope he has.
Prenup ain't gonna help this. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, he signed the $90 million contract with the chick who's yelling at folks across the seat. Do you think that Aisha is not gonna have this energy with him? When she gets ready to leave, do you think that she's gonna be nice and quiet? Or do you think she's gonna have this energy for him when she goes? So they are married and he's negotiating new deals and new contracts while he's married to her. And none of your other YouTubers put this in that context because they think they're going to get more views and clicks by making their headlines about Brittany Renner. And I'm like, by the way, did you explain any of this? Oh, and you didn't think that was click-worthy. Okay. Let me see if I can get MJR up here. Not to be confused with MJF. MJR, I'm waiting for you to be up here on Zoom. Let's see you. Okay, MJR has been abducted. Let me see if I can get Ambrosia up here on Zoom. This ought to be good. All right, Ambrosia, and what is on your mind?
Hi, Jason. I wanted to put my little 2 cents in with the whole children going back and forth and the baby mama and the relationship thing. This is something that I have noticed with relationships, whether they are divorced couples, whether it is baby mama. Now, I'm a Gen Xer, and I remember the fights and the arguments between both my parents growing up. I remember the kidnapping back and forth. I'm taking her, you this, and it was all about leverage. Who can get who to submit to whatever that demand is, and I'm going to use that child as a pawn. And it kills me that nobody ever takes in consideration of what these children are going through. I remember every fight. I remember every nasty conversation. I remember the conversations that my mother would have with my aunts or who are her friends that were over and would get riled up before my dad would even get there. And now I'm getting ready to walk out the door and I'm upset because I've been hearing the conversations and all the shit talking that she was talking about my father before I left out the door. These children hear all of this and nobody is ever taking into consideration of the long-term effects. This is traumatizing. I remember to this day, every fight, guns were even drawn at one point in time. What? This has an effect on children long term. And the same main ones be like, I love my kids. I'll do this for my kids. I'll do that. But yet you won't be cordial to the person that you had a child with in front of your child. They're all selfish and no one is taking consideration because these children aren't important. It's just as simple as the fact. It's all about a bag. The children aren't important. Can I get what I need out of you through this kid? And whether it's sex or whether it's money. And nobody is being honest about it. None. And then these children grow up watching these toxic relationships and then emulating the same behavior. And it's just a continuous repetitive cycle. And if these women really cared about their children, they wouldn't act like this. If these dudes really cared about their kids, they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do this. They would know it's not healthy. It is not right. You don't want that happening to you and that type of argument in front of you. So why would you hold it in front of your child? A baby at that. It didn't matter if he was 3 or if he was 13. You don't talk shit to the other person that you had this child in front of your kid. That has long effects. That has psychological effects on them. And nobody is saying anything about it.
I'm a firm believer because I've seen it. And folks not being honest about it. The baby mama, baby daddy conversation usually misses the same component that really needs to be hammered home. There are unresolved issues because both of them got into that for their own reasons with their own agenda. And they don't see it as their fault that things didn't turn out the way they wanted. They see it as your fault. Mm-hmm. So they're always going to be going at each other. And there is also unresolved sexual tension.
Damn! That is true.
There's the other issue Brittany Renner is a first-time mom. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's had some abortions, I think she said, but this is the first time she ever gave birth. So that means something. That's the first thing. That's significant. Even if she's nobody's mother material, that's significant. But when there's unresolved social issues like Brittany, she's screwed up in things, and even if she didn't know how to handle it, she was expecting this big dummy to fold and make her a wife. Wasn't gonna happen. You're not wife material. You don't qualify. So she's upset because she felt that he's gullible enough. He should just bend over when I tell him to. It didn't happen. Now she's like, I'll be damned. I bet the farm on this. I bet the farm on it. Now I gotta lug this kid around and whatnot, and she can't control herself, so everything's about being angry when he shows up. Also, yes, there's unresolved sexual tension because he was the only guy who's willing to make something resembling a long-term commitment, even though she's not worthy of it. And not speaking out of term, even with your folks, I'm a firm believer that these people don't get over that. Like, baby mama drama does not end. These two gonna be in a baby mama, baby daddy situations. One or both of them gonna come back at some point trying to circle the block. Somebody gonna spin the block, and if they both stay single the rest of their damn lives, that thing will be going around till they die.
If she was still in whatever so-called relationship that she was having with Kevin Gates, she wouldn't be acting like this. She would not behave in that manner. If she had a man who she felt like was as far as the financial equivalent to PJ, she wouldn't be behaving like this. The only reason why she's behaving like that is because she doesn't have a man in her life and she's not getting the attention on the bag that she wanted. Now, the mom was complaining that $11,000 a month in child support for this little boy is too much. He's only been on this planet for 3 years. I don't know what expense is. I'm not a mom. I don't know. I don't believe that a 3-year-old has expenses that's more than $11,000.
Of course not. That's a middle class income. That's a middle class income, and he's 3 years old.
Yes.
So yeah, Brittany is trying to figure out how she can spend that a bunch of ways for herself, and that doesn't go terribly far. That doesn't go terribly far, to be totally honest, if she's trying to live off of it.
And that's what it is. That $11,000 is more than enough for that child, but it ain't putting Brittany in the financial bracket that she wants. Because if that money was specifically for that child and child only, because apparently she's living with her parents, I doubt she's paying rent. So if that money was being banked for that baby, his life would be set by the time he was even 16, 17 years old if she was being smart with it. So $11,000 is more than enough for a 3-year-old child. But that shows you where their mindset is. This is about money.
If she is this angry after just a couple of years and one baby, having to move in with her parents, how much angrier was Cassie Ventura after a decade, couple of abortions, and got dropped off with Alex Fine?
And deal with it.
So anybody who thought that was legit, no, this would be Cassie right here. This would be her right here. Some lawyers showed up because New York screwed up the laws. And this is the way it happens. So baby mama, baby daddy situations, there's always unresolved issues and underlying sexual tension. They're always trying to consider, should they go back? And in PJ's case, that's not really an option for her, but only because this relationship PJ is in now is the definition of rebound. I mean, he knew that woman for how long before he married her? So both of them were embarrassed. They were both embarrassed. Brittany was embarrassed because, okay, after all these years, after Drake and everybody else used her draws for a hang glider, she finally got somebody to get her pregnant, but everybody's like, you gonna be a baby mama, and sure enough, she was. And then PJ realizes, damn, that heifer played me. Yeah, she did. So you have two people who are angry at each other for different reasons. He was supposed to stay gullible, and she was supposed to stay worthy, and it didn't happen for either one of you because neither one of you is good enough for it. So, Jason, what happens next? Oh, they just go, this is going to be a knife fight for the rest of their lives. It's going to be a knife fight for the rest of their lives. You've already seen what it is. It's not going to get any better. They're constantly going to be going at each other. You know, this is what it will be right here. And the boy is just going to be messed up.
Yeah. And based off the experience that I know with women like Brittany, just to be spiteful, she will sleep with PJ while he's still married just so she could be able to post it on social media and tick off his wife and cause problems in his marriage. And he won't even see it coming. He'll crawl right between her legs while he's still married to this new woman because he is obvious that he still holds accountable for her. It's obvious from his own behavior. But in the meantime, that baby is caught in the crossfire. And then 9 times out of 10, this young lady, the new wife, will probably get a baby. So there he will have 2 crazy, toxic women fighting him because he put himself in that situation over some cootie cat.
Well, no, he was young and he was in love. And I get it. I was his age. All my girlfriends were a decade or so older than me. I get it. I just wasn't in love like that. In his case, you know, you got mommy issues. Mm-hmm. You don't have any solid male figures or solid female figures. What? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any solid adults around him. And that's a big problem I've seen in my whole life. These professional athletes, particularly basketball is the worst, but it's not the only one. Once they figure you got a whiff of an NBA contract or NFL contract, everybody's trying to figure out how they can get their piece. And so everyone becomes obsessed with making you happy with them and favorable toward them. Nobody's going to say a negative word because they don't want to risk you cutting them off because you about to run the millions. And in the process, you enter this fantasy world where everybody's lying to you. And that's what's happened to PJ. Nobody's told him the truth. Nobody will. He's about to get $90 million over the next few years. So there goes reality altogether. And everybody and their mama is going to sit there congratulating him while he wrecks his life. And I'm just telling you right now, I'm not wishing it on him anymore than I wish it on Travis Hunter. But I'll be damned. These are the most predictable damn car wrecks you ever saw coming. It is very, very obvious what's going on. These are deficient males who don't have anybody they can lean on, who can keep them grounded. So they grab the first hoe who comes along and let her ground me. Well, she's going to ground you all right. Like the Hindenburg. I'll let you have the last word.
That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Anybody gonna tell me what to do? All right. Keep that energy. Keep that energy. Let me go ahead and see if I can get AT up here on Zoom. AT, what's on your mind?
Hey, yo, Jason.
Okay, let me get a light on there, AT. I don't know if you're gonna do a strip dance or something. This might not be a good night for it. So let me see if we can get that first here. Yeah, when dudes call me in the dark and stuff, I think it's about to turn into a Key Sweat video. All right, AT, what's on your mind?
I don't know if you've mentioned this already today, but you got to remember, I think the reason Brittany Renner is so mad is because you got to remember, she targeted this man since he was in college. Like she played the long game. And
that's what I was saying. She bet all her chips on him. Instead of these rappers who already got it, she decided she was going to go see if she could target a prospect. Instead of going after rappers who already have a lot of experience with females, let me go after a young fella who's got less experience, and then I can dominate him emotionally.
This is, and I don't know if this is the first instance I can remember of a female using that type tactic to go after potential wealth. You know, usually they wait until they get to the pro level, but this is the first time I can ever recall like one of these like Instagram type fitness chicks actually target a college player, like based on what his potential NBA draft status would be, and then played the long game, actually got the baby, and now it's going through all this mayhem. It's crazy.
Like Drea Michelle's tried her own imitation of it, but that's far from the only ones, bro. This is just the one that's most high profile. But she bet all of her chips on that. And for those of us, like I say, when she was first coming up, he was in elementary school? So when Drake and all the rest of them were having their turn with her, he was in elementary school or middle school.
Middle school.
And when he got grown, he got old enough, Nobody told him, hey, dude, this is a toss-up. We don't do this.
No guidance, no nothing. And what scares me now is that in college sports, we're seeing this all this NIL money that's flying around. There's a lot of young brothers that are sitting on six figures, $1 million, and they're being targeted, and they don't even know it. You got coaches like Dion that are trying to like, sit his players down and kind of give them the real life game because he's been.
How'd that work for Travis?
But that just goes to show this generation of kids, man. Like you can have somebody that's giving you the script to the movie and telling you how it's going to end, and they still going to do their own thing.
This is why it's important to have people around you. I can't expect Coach Prime to fix all this in one speech.
But Coach Prime is, and coming from somebody who played college, who was a college athlete, Coach Prime is sometimes the first like real father figure outside of their high school coach or middle school coach that they've come across. But the difference is none of those high school coaches have been to the league and won Super Bowls and got the money and the fame.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They don't have adults around them that they respect. They don't have adults around them who have earned their respect. They don't have adults around them that they feel they do respect. Because, see, respecting somebody is somebody who's going to tell you the truth. They don't give a damn if it upsets the hell out of you. They're willing to take the risk that you walk away angry and don't speak to them anymore. How many folk fool with you for real that they're willing to do that?
Yeah, but think about it like this. If they did have this guidance, and could you imagine what PJ Washington could be doing if he wasn't like beefing with his baby mama? He could be out reaching back to the community, investing in startups, starting local investment funds, and instead of like going back and forth on the internet with your baby mama, like what if you could put that energy towards something else?
Man, he would need a whole new brain to be able to do that. I mean, PJ's a dunce. I mean, he's not a brain trust. If he's lucky, maybe he'll have an agent who squirrels some money away somewhere because he's going to blow every dime he's got. Between these broads and cars and stuff, he's a moron. He's an easy mark, and everybody sees it. And he's going to wind up leaving most of his wealth, like Mike Tyson did. He left most of his money with Don King and the hoes and everything else. For those of you who don't accept it, all the boxing money was gone. All Mike Tyson's boxing money is gone. Evander Holyfield, same thing. We can go down the list. Bunch of baby mamas, but I mean, they already said that all the boxing money is gone, man. All that's gone.
And here's the thing. Now, okay, Shay, where do they go get guidance? They can't go get it from Shannon Sharp.
Well, no, but furthermore, you shouldn't have to. That's what the hell you got a mom and a dad for.
But some of them ain't got the daddy, though. The dad's not there.
Okay, and the mamas are worthless, too. So what I'm saying is that to young folk out here today.
Where do young men go to get that guidance if they don't have it growing up? In this age of 2025, AI, high tech, Google, Apple, everything. Where are guys supposed to go to get that guidance?
Well, I think the good part though is that most males don't have a situation like PJ Washington, where somebody's offering to throw a $100 million contract at you. So your ability to get corrupted down that stream is very, very unlikely. So you're much more likely to come across an outlet like mine or some place where you got to get built, because ain't nobody going to just hand you $100 million. But here's the thing, brother. It doesn't matter whether you come from the best, quote unquote, best home in America, because I don't know how you even define that. But I don't care if you were raised by, quote unquote, the best parents or the worst. No parents give you everything you need. As a man, you know that. I don't care how well-intentioned your parents are. Nobody gives you everything you need as a parent. Hopefully you get most of what you need or half of it. But after that, brother, you got to get the rest on your own. There's supposed to be a starting point. You're supposed to get the rest on your own. You have to.
But you got to think about it this way. I'm 38 years old. The algorithm don't push content like you and other people that think like you. They're pushing Fresh and Fit. They're pushing all these other, I don't want to name too many of these YouTube channels, but they're pushing those channels in the algorithm. and not pushing people like you yourself.
Well, brother, it starts with what kind of life you want to have. I don't care where you are. You don't have to have a cell phone in your hands. You have to define for you what type of life you're going to have. If you saw your parents were messed up, first decision, do I want my life to be theirs? Men have been, you come into a point to your life where you become master of your own life, and that includes rebellion. I've made a decision. I don't want my life to be my parents' life. I'm doing something different. And men have been doing that since the beginning of time. Looked at their parents, looked at their grandparents. Yeah, I ain't trying to be y'all. No disrespect, no hate. I've seen where y'all at. I feel like I can do better than this. Now, you're the only person who can make that decision. And I don't know where your better is. I do know that you never get there if you haven't already made up your mind. Yeah, I can do better than them. If you're okay with being the way they are, okay. But if you are dissatisfied with the way they are, brother, you don't even have to have a phone. There doesn't even have to be an internet. Men have been doing that now for millennia.
Yeah, I agree. We are under assault. And instead of, I feel like the people in my generation, I call myself a late millennial, or sorry, I'm tired. Millennial. Man, there's so much distractions going on. Like I can only imagine what we could be doing if we were just had this like concentrated focus on what was going to push us forward, and that's reparations. You know what I mean? So,
well, discipline is very, very important. Focus is very, very important in a day and age of cell phone. Brother, when I came up, everybody was complaining about TV. You watch too much TV. You watch too much TV. You got too many video games. Men, we've always known about the distractions. The real thing is if you are unwilling to admit, yeah, that's a distraction. That's a problem. It's easier than ever to screw up your whole life and end up average, mediocre, or sub-mediocre. But then again, that's evolution too. Maybe right now we've entered the first era in human history and evolution where those with the strongest minds survive. Not the strongest limbs, not the strongest legs, not the strongest arms. Those who are able to keep the most disciplined, the most emotionally stable, the most focused, the most directed. I think we're entering an era where maybe that's what defines survival. And everybody else becomes chattel simply because they cannot focus. Because they won't. And maybe this is just the next thinning of the herd.
Yeah, but if we want to fund initiatives and programs and movements and get the word out, we need people who can fund those ventures. And we can't fund those type ventures if the people who are in high esteem, the athletes, the entertainers, are just blowing money and losing wealth and just
well, I mean, we can't. We've never been able to depend on them, brother. We've never been able to depend on the athletes, the entertainers, and the truth is, they follow us.
What about the politicians?
Okay, well, once again, they follow you too if you're disciplined enough. So we've never been able to depend on the athletes. They've never been there for us like that. But furthermore, I don't want them running it. Do I want one of Mark Cuban's or Jerry Jones's employees leading us? Hell no. He's not qualified. He's not capable.
Right.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. We appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to come to MGR here in just a moment. Let me see if I can go ahead and load up here. Prince out of Richmond here. Prince, what's on your mind?
Jason, I'm going to tell you, this is all PJ Washington's fault. Because number one, he decided he wanted an audience. He wanted the attention of going up here to this woman's house. I've never had these issues. I've had other issues, but not this, dealing with my daughter, because number one, her mother could never come to my house, and I never go to hers. We go to a police station or a courthouse that has cameras, and that's the only thing that I would agree to. She's never welcome in my house, ever. If I'm done with a woman, I'm done with her. Number two, he brought that woman with him for a reason. I never take a woman to a child pickup. Never. Never take any woman for what? Matter of fact, a woman wants to go with me to a pickup. That is automatic termination of her even being in my life. That lets me know she likes drama. Okay. Then on top of that, I never talked to the child's mother when we was going, because if you have a court agreement, apparently that's the agreement, not you and I having a side deal. So if you're not talking about the daughter, don't talk to me about anything else. It took a few times. She finally got the picture. No side deals. These guys want side deals because they want access to the sex.
If y'all had something to talk about, you all would have talked about it before you went to court. And you never would have ended up there. If we were able to talk to each other and work something out, everything we had to say was years ago. The time that we were still together, that was the time to be talking. Right then. And if she was not committed to working that out, or you were not committed to it, or both of you weren't, there's nothing more to discuss. All we're going to be doing is circling each other, having a running gun battle. Is that what you want your damn life to be? And that's where he is right now.
And guess what this woman is doing? She's recording all this. She going to get all these videos. So when she turn on him, she going to say, look, he had drama with his last baby mama. That put stress in our relationship. Look at the video. And this is what he's capable of. She won't even focus on her. She going to focus on him, saying he creates stoking fire situations where he aggravates women. And this is the pattern you see. So he is the village idiot to ever bring a woman around. If a woman's with me, she supposed to be interested in me, not with somebody I used to be with.
Well, even regardless of that, I mean, she shouldn't have been there, period. I don't think that was her asking. I think that was him bringing her along. But the bottom line is she wasn't really being an issue until he decides he wants to let down the window and be arguing with them. That was the point right there that I just said, okay, that tears it. I'm done with this dude. When he lets the damn window down, the boys in the back seat, you sitting there, you rolling the window down for what, man?
Because she didn't cut up enough in the doorway. So they both was playing this because if you notice, you keep replaying the video that Brittany slowed down until he opened that back door. Then she hurried up and scurried over there because now she has access to the inside of the vehicle. That's why she held the bag. I'm gonna tell you why she held the bag. And she slowed down in that walkway. And as soon as he got to that door, she did a beeline so she could get access to saying something inside that car. The woman at first, I guess, didn't say anything, but he let that window down, like you said. And this is a turn on for him. This is his erotic fantasy to have women fighting over him because he's never been smart enough to have women follow him without this type of drama.
That's why I said there are 4 hoes out there, not just 3. There's 4 hoes in that driveway, and you're spot on. He thinks all that drama is elevating his status. And there'll be some knuckleheads and morons on the internet who'll be buying into that. And I'm just like, dude, y'all are not seeing where this goes. This does not end in that driveway. This is not the end of the story at all.
No, it's not. Now, Jason, I want to ask you a question. So I don't want this to be unclear to young men, because you talk about a woman having passion for you and is willing to fight for you. But I want you to clarify, if you can. Can you clarify the difference between a woman willing to fight for you and the PJ Washington situation? That's not.
Yeah, passion is fine if a woman ain't got leverage and control over you.
God, dog.
Passion's fine if the heifer ain't got leverage on you.
Talk about it.
She got leverage on him. She can go them people. She can keep making a mess for him for the rest of his damn life. And to go ahead and clear something up here, since Aquarius did not want to call in, for those of you who do not understand this, you can flap your damn pie lips all you want to about what you assume is the law in the state of Texas for children and child support. You can talk about whatever the hell you think you know all you want to. Let's try this a different damn way. There's a lawyer out there, scumbag named Tony Busby, along with a bunch of others. A state law has never prevented these people from trying it.
No.
Because all they need is a judge who says, okay, we're going to do something different. Take a look at Tiger Woods. I covered that case, and a bunch of people here who you're supposed to be listening to me, and I covered that case. Tiger Woods, after he got divorced, he put all of his holdings in a trust. And what that tells me is that his lawyers and his financial planners got together with him and said, look, we need to lock down your assets. If you're going to be out here in these streets doing what you do, there's a very high probability one of these hoes going to try something. So we need to lock your assets down. And that's what they did. To the point that his lawyers were the ones who served that chick at the airport when he finally lured her out of the house because she would not leave on her own. They finally lured her out of the house, lured her to Orlando International Airport. When she got out of the car there, they said, thank you, here's your papers. You're evicted from the house. You can go anywhere you want to from this airport, but you cannot return to Tiger's house. And she said, okay, I can't get back in Tiger's house, but damn it, I just passed 3 billboards on the freeway, got attorney's numbers on them. Yes. And I'm going to call one of them. And they tried it, knowing that his assets are in a trust, knowing that she had an NDA, knowing all of this, and they still tried it.
These situations are not rational situations. Please listen to me. If you are with a woman in your house, and both y'all names on the house, she can have anybody she wants in that house and have sex with them, and you would be the one at fault if you interrupt them.
Well, brother, I'm going beyond that. Take a look at what happened with Diddy and the rest of them. Diddy, Shannon Sharp. Yeah, y'all, nobody thinks about this way. Your average dunce tuber doesn't think this way.
No.
What do you all think for a second that Brittany Renner, if an attorney told her we can get a $50 million bag, okay, hey girl, he wants to get paid. He's looking at some endorsements. If we make an accusation against him, we ain't got leverage on him. But if somebody's offering an endorsement, we'll tell him he beat you. We'll tell him he beats the kids. We'll tell him he was abusing you. And if he don't pay us $20 million, we're going to go public like we did with Shannon, like we did with Diddy, like we're doing with them others.
What did you say, Jason? One of your greatest things. Please listen, family. He says the greatest thing you need to guard is somebody having access to you. And that's one thing. I'm in Texas, and these lawyers want every dime that they can get. If you get a good one, they're going to tell you right, but these dudes ain't going to listen. They not going to listen. I just have my neighbor, this woman had told him she wanted a divorce, gave him the divorce paper. He signed away the rights to his child. He signed away before he even talked to a lawyer.
What?
Before he even talked to a lawyer. He said, because he back at the mama house, he said, I noticed you seen me here. They've been married since Hurricane Harvey, so I guess about 8 years. And he think he African and she African, but she's Americanized because she talk like somebody that's been around black people a lot. And I ain't saying it's a problem being around, but she's Americanized. So if he thought he was getting them a traditional African woman, he got an American woman. So he signed it. I say, why would you sign it? Well, and he's giving her $2,000 a month. I say, oh, that's a gift. When you go to court, she gonna say you didn't give her nothing, and you gonna have to pay back child support. So you really care about this woman that much that you willing to put your child up on the auction block. He said, what do you mean? I mean that you worried about how she feel more than protecting your child, that you sign away your parental rights.
Niggas ain't thinking about cutting their losses. We have the most pitiful, pathetic generation of lonely males that planet Earth has ever seen. So gutlessly, cowardly, lonely, hopelessly, despicably lonely, to the extent that they don't have any companionship because you're a loser. When you have a personality, people come talk to you. We have a bunch of males that because they spent their whole damn lives with a cell phone glued to their corneas, they don't have a personality. And because of that, people don't want to be around you. Yeah, because you're dead weight. And they don't want to understand that. So when the chick is there, when she finished fleecing them pockets and get all she can get, she cuts out. And now you've lost everything. He doesn't even have a friend to talk to about his situation. So his entire focus and being is focused on trying to get her back because there's literally nobody there. A man needs to get himself psychologically, physically, emotionally, financially, socially in a position where if you're sleeping alone tonight, it's because you want to, not because you're required to. Even if you are married, you sleeping alone tonight should be a choice. If your wife wants to ever try to pull no mess, it's like, baby, look here, let me explain something if the pastor didn't tell you. If I'm alone tonight, it's because I've chosen to be. But it ain't got to be. So I'm just letting you know that's not something you gonna just do to me. But when you're, as men, if you haven't cultivated that, then you just get desperate. And people can recognize the stench of desperation from a mile away, male or female.
And you have to have, you got to be counterintuitive to a certain extent. You have to have a certain amount of emotional detachment from a woman. You cannot, listen, let me tell you something. She has to be replaceable. I don't care if you've been with her 50 years. She got to be replaceable. I love my grandfather. He had 9 children with my grandmother, but he never got complacent, not a day in his life. He was always active, and she was always concerned about where was he going? What was he doing? But when you get complacent, a woman by nature will look for something more interesting, more that gives her, that makes her more vibrant, and she's going for that. And when this guy, he's not a bad guy. He's safe. His mama, daddy, they wave safe sons. Yeah, safe, but a woman ain't looking for a safe man. She looking for a leader. If you safe, you're gonna let the woman pick and choose which way to go. But I don't want to rock the boat. Let me tell you something. Whoever she laying under, that's what I told him. I may be wrong. I say, you following her and she following whoever laying on top of her right now.
Could you imagine Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Dr. J, Bill Russell, standing in the middle of a damn driveway for some baby mama hood rat hoe going back and forth like this?
Never.
Could you imagine it? Isaiah Thomas.
Never.
Could you imagine the men that you actually respect and lionize? Could you imagine them doing this?
I couldn't imagine Akeem Olajuwon doing that. And he had a baby mama. He just let her get out there bad, and she got off on them drugs. Then he pulled his children to him.
Brother, you couldn't imagine Wilt Chamberlain doing it. He had hoes around the world.
I couldn't imagine, especially Bill Russell. That was the classy guy, man. Man.
Wilt Chamberlain had hoes around the globe, and you couldn't imagine him doing that. And that's how you know you off your damn game. He hasn't had anybody show him, hey, bro, this is how we get down in the league. If you're going to be a member of the league, if you're going to be a member of the NBA, you got to carry yourself a certain way. This is not how players keep it. This is not what we do. You representing a whole city. You're representing a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and this is what you making headlines doing? This right here. Bro, your game ain't tight. Your situation ain't together. How do you make a long-term investment when this is what you're doing? I'll let you have the last word.
Jason, my question is, it ain't that, first I want to say, it ain't because they don't know you exist. They know. These young men, they have information that you and I didn't have growing up. I learned a lot of this being in the military, so I watched other people's relationship. You see some hell of a stuff in the military. So the thing is, they're overcompensating. They think they can use their money and their talent as a way to dominate a woman. Will that ever work, Jason? And that's it.
It never works anywhere. Placating people is not going to do that. You know, it starts with you. Do you have a mission? It starts with you. If you have a mission, if you have a goal, if you have your situation together, you have a purpose for being, that's the important part.
Yes, sir.
And they don't have one. They don't have one. They do not have a reason for doing it. They're not.
And you got no purpose for the woman either.
Well, I mean, like I say, if the only reason you got them around is to lay up on them, that's a problem. That's a problem right there. If all you got them for is to lay up on them, that's a problem. And these guys, they want females around just so they can have them around. And that's not the reason for it. She's supposed to be elevating something.
What about the strip club? Just go to the strip club. Just go and get you a little woman to trick off on. Why you gotta be impregnating them so you can lock them down? She don't want the baby. She wants your resources. Now she's really aggravated because she's stuck with the baby and getting as much as she thought she should get. And now she's going to torture you for the rest of your life.
That's what you get sentenced to. And if he were older and more mature, he'd understand that. But he's not. So this just tells you how they were raised. They were raised around a bunch of loud-ass females, keeping up drama and mess. When you've elevated to a different position in life, that's where you're supposed to be at. He's right where he was when he met Brittany. So this opportunity is wasted on him. It's just wasted on him. And he's already digging himself deeper. You can already see with the new chick. We already know how this is going to go. Eventually, we'll get the notice on that, and no one will be surprised. The only thing that would surprise me is if it's him and Travis Hunter on the same day.
Oh.
If him and Travis Hunter get cut on the same day, I'll be like, oh, hell. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of folks doing that. Bad look all the way around. Let me go ahead and see if we can get iPhone 14 up here right quick. iPhone 14, what's on your mind, brother? I'm sorry, it's Timmy. I thought it was a fella at first. You got it covering up the top of your head, woman. It's just, okay.
Hey, you. I'm about to fall asleep. Long show. We usually think that this time, but I was a little upset at the beginning of the first caller who doesn't. What did he say? He said he don't see anything wrong with him arguing with the baby mama while holding the baby. That's an idiot, because okay, say if she decided to get physical, there have been situations where, particularly with the females, not always, but particularly with the females, will hit someone holding a child. Now, what would happen if she got mad enough, smacked the man, and decided to smack the man and the baby fell? Like, you have to consider that situation, that scenario.
That was not going to happen because that wasn't her goal. Her goal was exactly what happened. Her goal was to start an altercation, because here's the issue with PJ the dunce. The reason you ain't supposed to be out here doing this old stupid stuff, dumb nigga, is because them hoes ain't got nothing to lose.
And deal with it, nigga.
Right.
Brittany Renner has nothing to lose. Brittany Renner's mammy ain't got nothing to lose. She already exhausted her chances years ago. She's hoping her daughter can make something of herself. Mama's already spoken and done for. That's a wrap.
Right.
Nigga, you a $100 million man acting like a damn $100 man. You've got something to lose. You have a lot to lose. You have more to lose than most black men ever gain in 5 lifetimes, which means it's wasted on you. You got something for real and substantive to lose, and you're not acting like it. You're surrounded by a bunch of people with nothing to lose. There's a reason why NBA athletes ain't supposed to take off in the stands punching people. You know what the hell's going to happen? They'll be standing their asses in the stands. Y'all know how it is. They'll be talking buck and, oh, hey, you niggers over there. They'll be talking stupid. Soon as you walk up in there and grab them around the neck. Oh, call my attorney. Oh, he grabbed me. I was just standing there. All of a sudden, he gonna put his G-string thong on and shave his legs and put on his damn one kini. That's what it's gonna be. Just like when them dudes ran up on Chris Brown, he socks the fellow, call my lawyer. He was talking big till Chris put them hands on him. Then the energy immediately changed. Recognize, dude, folks are trying to lure you in because they ain't got nothing to lose. Now, if they could lose the same level as you, they wouldn't be doing it. But Brittany Renner has nothing to lose. It doesn't matter. She has the ability to escalate this as high as she wants to because what's she gonna lose? Endorsement, contracts, Instagram money? She ain't got none of the above. That's why he's a fool for doing that. You're fighting with somebody who has nothing to lose and you have everything to lose. That's not a fair fight. You're supposed to fight somebody who, even Charlamagne said that and he was right. Never fight somebody who's got way less to lose than you do. How is this going to negatively affect her life? It isn't. She was a joke and a laughing stock and a meme before now. The only thing she can do is help make him far less desirable for whatever endorsements, contracts, or anything else going forward. That's all she can help him do.
Yeah. Quick question. I don't know if you've been following up with what's his name? Anderson. He's a football player. Anderson Peterson. Very talented football player. One of the best. He comes from a family of athletes. Like the lifespan of football athletes is very short, because of the physical stress that they have to take with all the beatings they get when they go out to the field. So I've been looking into him because he was really a good athlete. He came from a family, all his family members. His mother was a famous not a tracker, but she was athletic. His uncle, his father, he came from amazing family. His physical physique was off the wall. But I wouldn't say he lost it all, but once he retired, his life went down. And this is not to be disparaging on the brother, but I feel like we should do something on him because I think there's a lot of things to learn. We
have nothing but a stream of cautionary tales coming out the NBA and NFL now. I don't know how we reduce it down to just one. How is he any different from the others? Some of them came from the projects where nobody was doing nothing. Others came from households where there were some talented people. The real thing is when he was up at bat, when it was his time to steer the ship, did he repeat the same mistakes he's seen before or did he change it? Because here's the real problem with professional sports. You get young men who are not used to power. They're not used to it.
Right.
And when you're not ready for power and they dump a bunch of it on you, power just makes you more of what you already are. Well, what if you are an immature baboon? Now what? Now what? Power is going to make you more of that? Oh, this is going to be self-destructive. And for a lot of them it is. They get a bunch of power. They have no regard for tomorrow. They tell themselves, yeah, I know everybody else had a 5-year lifespan. I'm going to be the next LeBron. Every person who goes to the NBA tells himself he's going to be the next LeBron. That he's going to have the next 20-year career. Not just 20-year career, but 20-year career at the top of his game. High performing for the next 2 decades. Everybody who goes into the league thinks that. Every single one. Nobody thinks they're going to be Mr. 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Quick question. Is there a way they can avoid from being a cautionary tale? Like what life, if all they did was focus on sports, like what can they do? Like should they do like a side job or go to school or like what would you say that they do to avoid this cautionary?
They've had 40 years now of looking at cautionary tales. As a matter of fact, remember I did a documentary about this. The league even talks to him about that stuff. They talk to him about not getting hoes pregnant now. They've talked to him about these things. But when you've got dummies who want to sit up here and The other thing is what we don't talk about is most of these athletes are socially inept. So it's not like these were really smart guys who got along with females great and stuff. They were athletes and chicks didn't dig them until they realized, oh, this nigga might make it to the league. Then all of a sudden he's quote unquote popular with the ladies. But it's not because there's nobody who ever told you about the engaging conversations they had with them. So these are a bunch of guys who were duds with females until they found a way to get a few $1 million. Now all of a sudden they're popular. But if you took the money from them, that's what I was saying before. You take the money from them, they have no personality. And they never have. So when it comes to women, it's always been a famine. It's never been a feast. It's always been a famine. And now they're out here with a bunch of chicks who are straight piranhas. They're straight sharks. And he has no idea because he doesn't have any real substantive experience with women, not critical experience. He's just got to be a big prospect and now everybody lies to him. And he can't tell the difference. And he won't listen to anybody else. Nigga, I make more money than you. No, you got lucky to get that. You can't see the viper you have next to you. I can. Because you see, nobody threw that money at me. I had to make my own. So you see, I learned how to read people, something you can't do. Because you're telling yourself, surely everybody around me would not lie to me. That's not true. You're one of those people that literally, because you have so much, literally everybody around you will lie to you. You have no regard and no comprehension of the fact that they'll lie to you and they don't care where you land. And he doesn't get it or he doesn't want to get it. Now, how do you make somebody see something they don't want to see? Because a lot of you all are chalking this up to naivete. There might be some naivete there, but there's a lot of willfulness. He does not want to believe that he's this inept and deficient. He doesn't want to believe that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Tyler up here on Zoom right quick. Let's see if we can get Tyler up here. We got Tyler on Zoom. Tyler, what's on your mind? Unmute yourself, Tyler.
Yes, sir. All right, Jason. Good evening. Good evening. Couple of things. The last lady was talking about Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs to ever do his thing. However, because he was such a big heavy hitter, he's already got early signs of CTE. There's a recent interview with him about a year ago. It's a sad situation. So I a lot of these athletes, I would just say for football, I know for basketball, they don't have as much head stuff. I think maybe the head stuff has a little bit to play in why they lose the money and why they may make some of the bad decisions. That's just a little caveat. One thing I wanted to kind of get your opinion on real quick. I got a couple more, but let me know. Why are women so much better at playing the game? Where are they getting this advantage, and how come men can't counter that advantage more effectively in their 20s? What's going on?
Well, it's not so much that women are so much better at playing the game. It is that these fellas, women do things with these fellas that we don't do. What? So these women have access to avenues in his life that we just don't have. So everybody else has to come with him with a business proposition or bait and switch him as an agent. Females ain't got to do that. She comes up to him with a rear end big enough and breast big enough, and he's sold. So the keys the doors that she's unlocking are different from the doors we're unlocking.
Okay. One thing that you pointed out earlier in the broadcast was that this may likely lead up to Brittany Renner and her mom trying to make false allegations of like some type of domestic abuse. And that really, that reminded me of, some different situations I had in my past, but mainly as a man, there is almost, unless you're not dating, I don't see any other way to protect yourself. Because once you're in her presence, she now gets to define what happened.
Brother, what I'm saying though is that what Prince said there, this nigga got enough money, go send a nanny to go pick the kid up.
Exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't have to go pick this child up at all. He doesn't have to do that. The very fact he went over there, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? I'm not trying to have contact with Brittany. And what I'm saying is that the part that folk keep disregarding here, and I keep having to remind them, hey, y'all two broke up because she was a problem. She didn't just start this last week. She been this the whole damn 4-5 years. So why are we acting like she was a model citizen until last week? She's been a problem the whole time. now all of a sudden you jump inside, you're not going to treat her like it. Okay, so she's clearly shown she's a problem. The rest of us in the general public are treating her much more cautiously than you. There's only one thing that you know about Brittany that we don't. You know what she looks like naked.
And deal with it, nigga.
So that's the only avenue that you know that we don't. Okay, well, the rest of us don't have that connection to her. I don't have a butt booty naked connection to her. So I can just judge her based on her behavior. I'm not considering whether or not I'll ever get sexual access to her again. That's a consideration that PJ Washington has to make. And he's, like I say, he feels stupid, and he should, because, you know, he got his dumb ass played, and he did. So he wants to pick at her because he wants her to be as uncomfortable and unhappy about how things turn out as he is.
Okay. So, what you call it? One thing I saw was that I just kind of came to this conclusion is how women treat their bodies, Jason. So you mentioned the tattoos, and, you know, as always, you mentioned what it takes, the logistics of placing certain tattoos on certain places on the body. And I just kind of thought, you know, some, you know, personal circumstances, things like that, is that you can really, I didn't understand why you drew so much attention to it, right? Tats, brats, and ats. You know, some tattoos are kind of cool. You know, I grew up kind of liking some tattoos on women, but when you start to think about reproduction, the way a woman treats her body is so important, because I was thinking, if a woman gets an STD, she's cursing the one that you can't get rid of. She's cursing all of her future children, right? All of them, right? So like she's almost like, so the way that women treat their bodies is a big thing. And you see Brittany with the tats, you see what you call it with the tats. I'm looking for a caveat. Is there ever a time, Jason, let's say some garification from Africa, the tattoos that they do, you know, in Samoa, are there appropriate tattoos, or is this universal? Like, if you tat your body, is it just American culture, or is this universal? Tatted body means you're treating your body a certain way.
The human body is born perfect. That's the first thing you have to get through your head and accept. Water is created perfect. Please tell me, what are you going to add to water or remove from it that will improve it or make it better? Tell me.
Zero.
Fire is created perfect. Please tell me, what will you add to it or remove from it that will improve it?
Nothing.
There's a reason that we call these the fundamental elements of the universe. There's a reason that we call it that. We call it that because that's an acknowledgement that you can't reduce this down any further. It's already perfect. When they talk about something like gravity here on Earth, there's a reason why people are very easily able to believe that the cosmos was put into place by divine hands. If the moon disappeared tomorrow, Earth would be uninhabitable. The moon isn't just a nice hood ornament up there. The moon controls the tides. If the moon disappeared tomorrow, life on this planet would immediately become unlivable. It'd be uninhabitable. Now, if you're a religious person, you believe it was placed there. Well, when you consider that and how perfectly it balances, not just in the universe, but just right here where you are, do you realize how many things had to fall into place to make this planet habitable to the extent that it is?
Yeah.
So it is, in that sense, in that regard, is perfect. Or as the Bible says, it is good. God stopped because it is good. There, nothing more needs to be added and nothing more can be taken away. That's what that is saying. The human body is the same way. You were born perfect, and now what is it you think your skin doesn't have? Well, I'm going to put a design on it. Why? Well, because this represents something to me. If you want something to represent something, make a statue, make a book. You do not make permanent marks on your skin. That is a sign of mental and emotional imbalance. Your body is born perfect. that butterfly on her butt cheeks does not enhance her, except to somebody who sees, oh, you have no regard for your body, which is what that butterfly represents.
You don't like that tattoo, Jason?
My butterfly, buddy, how did it get there? Tyler, how did it get there?
It had to get placed. It had to get placed.
No. Did you hear the program where I talked about early in the program when I talked about that?
Yeah, she's got to be. Well, I mean, he could technically do it like that, but he's got to
listen, people. You're not. It's going to be very difficult to place it. At the very least, she's going to have to be in a damn G-string for a tattoo artist to put something that large on. Even if he's stenciling it, he needs a large area. He needs to have access to the whole damn thing. Females only get tattoos like that to be sexually alluring. Please, take a look at that tattoo there. One on the rear end. Take a look at these other ones here. One on her thigh and one on her pelvic bone. She's showing you, dude. She's showing you. What is she drawing attention to with these marks? She's placing them in areas that meant to draw your attention. These are not just marks on the body. These are directional signs. As it is for every female. And if a female is willing to make so let me get this straight. You would never commit to live in a house for the rest of your life. You would never commit to go to one job for the rest of your life. But you're going to commit to permanently changing the way your arm, your leg, your face, your back looks for the rest of your days. Something's wrong with you. That's not the mark of balance. That's the mark of imbalance. Your body is already perfect. The only thing you're doing now is degrading it. You are diminishing it and degrading it. There's no tattoo that ever made you look better. If there were, we would all get the same one. It would make us all look better.
Okay.
If a tattoo could improve you, we would all get one and it would make us all look better, wouldn't it?
True. That's sound logic.
So this is not about individuality, but I will tell you one thing. Individuality is often the enemy of discipline. Show me an army, a society, a company that works well with individuals exploring their individuality. I'll wait.
Got to be a part of the team. I get that.
What's the most destructive thing for an organization to have? This fellow over here who figures he's a lone agent. So when it comes to tattoos, what you are showing is you don't have respect for your body. We handed you something that was perfect. And all this does is mark up the real estate. I'm not going to bring up the old adage of it's like putting a sticker on a Lamborghini. What I'm going to say is it's like adding anything to a Lamborghini. You were given a work of art. She's not a bad looking broad until you get to the tattoos. She was already a work of art with or without cosmetic surgery. All she's done now is start putting graffiti on it and saying, oh, look, I am continuing the artistic endeavor. And that's why I started this conversation with you about water and fire. You were first going to tell her, baby, you can't improve water. All you can do is contaminate it. You can't improve fire. All you can do is extinguish it. And you can't improve the human body. All you can do is disfigure it. And in your little sick psyche, that makes sense. Yeah, because you got unresolved issues you're dealing with. You were born as a work of art. All you're doing is obscuring the art. That's all. But you're not improving it. Now, you have a right to do so, but we also have a right to acknowledge what you're doing for what it is. And we don't have to play games with you. We see what you're doing. And that's what it is.
So do you have the same stance for cosmetic surgery, Jason? Do you equate cosmetic surgery of any kind that's not life-saving to tattoos? Are they in the same boat? Is that the same category of modification?
Yes.
Okay.
The human body was not born with silicone implants. The human body was not born with that. Now, altering your musculature through fitness and development, that's how we became Homo sapiens. So that is natural to the human body. She can go to the gym and do some squats, but here's the issue. If I see a female getting cosmetic surgery, what you're telling me is you're insecure. Well, I'm trying to enhance myself for this, that, and the other. And what I'm saying is that sounds a lot like a man putting lifts. Could you imagine a man putting silicone implants in his feet to make himself taller?
They got some dudes doing that, Jason. That's crazy.
Okay, but my point is a female going off and getting silicone implants, it looks just as silly. You can see them from a mile away. The butt implants. Do you all realize we went from just butt implants to, quote, BBLs, and you call them BBLs because anybody can spot them and see them. They look cartoonish now. But do you realize this was where we were always going because they were always the product of insecurity? So, brother, what do you do when you're insecure? There's a bottomless hole that can't be filled. So you see even though a regular butt implant is not going to satisfy her. Psychologically. She's still thinking, is it big enough? Is it big enough? She's insecure. So she goes back and gets an even bigger one. Okay, nobody can miss this. This must be big enough. Now, is that aesthetics talking? Or is that insecurity talking? And they keep going back and getting a bigger one because she's self-conscious about herself. And when she got the implants, what did she find out? I'll be damned. That doesn't fix my lack of esteem. Makes it harder to sit down. It makes things weird. But it doesn't give me the confidence and self-esteem that I don't have. And then you realize we tell all of our sons and daughters, baby, there's no implant change in this world that will give you confidence. That comes from you. If you are confident with yourself the way you are, you're $1 million. Get yourself in the gym, look cool, and it doesn't matter if you got B cups or D cups, though it damn sure helps.
And deal with it, nigga.
Oh, let me not lie there. Oh, it helps. I'm not going to dispute. I'm not going to say I've been deceived. None of y'all. Double D cups help. Double D cups make the world go round. Can't lie. Double D cups make the world go round. Absolutely it does. However, if you think that Brittany Renner with double D cups makes everything okay, use a new fool. If you think that Brittany Renner, that the only thing she's missing is a pair of double D cups and then she'd be aight, hell no. We'd rather have Brittany Renner with a sane psychology, with whatever them flapjacks are she got, than to slap her with a couple of double D cups and make her twice the shrieking harpy she is now. We liked you better when you were a sane person. And you had some confidence. And that's all, because let me be very, very careful. Let me be very, very clear with you. The reason why BBLs are cartoonish is because it's obviously lack of confidence and insecure. Confidence is sexy as hell. Because remember, as men, we see you from the neck up, from the neck down, and from head to toe. When a woman is confident, she's confident from head to toe. So if a woman is confident, C cups are in. Hell, B cups may be in, depending on who she is. If a woman is confident, whatever bra size she got, that's what's in. If a woman is confident and she looks it and wears it, whatever booty size she got, that's the lick right there. Whatever thigh size she got, that's the lick right there. Long as she's not sloppy looking, that's the lick. But that's because of the confidence she exudes. She adds value to it. So do you see? A tattoo does not add value to you. The things that add value to you are the intangibles. And you're showing your insecurity thinking that some body marking on you is going to compensate for the confidence that you so obviously don't have. Yeah. And you're going to get old And then you're going to be in your 50s or 60s. And ain't nothing you can do then. Unless you think you're going to go get the cellulite rolled out, in which case it just starts getting silly after a while. We'd have been a whole lot better off just leaving this like it was and just not pretending. So, brother, confidence is sexy, and you can't improve the human body. All you can do is diminish it. That's all you can do. And when you accept that reality, then everything else comes together. But I can't convince you that you're all right the way you are. I can't convince you of that. That's something you have to accept. If you just think, no, I'm not good enough, but if I had just one more thing, I would be. And that's literally
Jason,
not the way it works.
Last thing on my way out, Jason, would love for you to do a broadcast on the signs of a confident, well-rounded woman. I would love kind of just, because you did that for the men. You did that for the fellas. You got, I'm sorry, brother. It's been a minute, but I forgot the specific title.
I mean, I did what makes a high-value woman. I did the Simple and Claire, the two Claires. So here on the business. So I've done those two right there, brother. You got that wrapped around you. That puts it all together. And it's not rocket science. People are complicating things way more than they are. They're looking for answers outside of themselves. The answer is right there with you. Everything you need is sitting right there with you, in you. Your willingness or inability to take control of yourself. Brittany Renner would not be the pariah she is today if she would exercise some self-control. That's it right there. The best thing Brittany Renner could do for herself is be quiet. Now, nobody can stop her from talking. Yeah, but she can. And that would raise her value tremendously. She's the problem. The solution to her issues is sitting right in the room with her.
Be $1 Jason.
Thank you very much. Give us a call tonight. You are the problem. You are also the solution. Let me go ahead and see if I can take one more. I don't know what happened to This Is 40 here tonight. This Is 40 was here, and then This Is 40 disappeared, so I'm not sure what's going on. All right, we got MJR Industries here. MJR, go ahead and unmute yourself.
There Can you hear me now, Jason?
All right, what's on your mind, brother?
So I wanted to go back to what the young man said and what Prince said. I honest to God, I disagree with a lot of things they say. I have custody of my children. I have 50-50 custody. I fought for it. I paid for it. And one of the quickest and fastest things that my lawyer was a female. I sought out a female attorney first and foremost because I wanted to fight a woman with a woman because I knew I would have a woman judge because most of the parent court judges are females. And so what I would tell all the males today is find out whatever the laws are in your state. Whatever state you live in, like I live in Pennsylvania, I'm moving to Texas. I'm studying Texas's custodial laws now. I'm very, very familiar with Pennsylvania's custody laws because it'll allow you to choose a better lawyer. But as soon as my lawyer had one interaction with my kid's mother, first thing she said is, we're not doing any drop-offs or pickups at the house. We're doing them all at the police station, and you should take someone with you. And taking someone with me who turned out later on to be my wife was one of the most important things that I've ever done. And I was off my kid's mom quickly. So I was indifferent to her. And we didn't have anything to talk about. I used to tell her, like, don't send my kids with nothing. Because they're my kids. Whatever you got in your bag, keep that at your house. I don't care about none of that shit. Only thing I need you to do is give me my fucking kid as soon as the court order is safe for you to give him. In Pennsylvania, you can send somebody else, but the other parent doesn't have to give them to the whoever you send. Even if it's a spouse, they only have to give the child on a designated day at the designated time to the legal guardian, the other parent. So sending somebody, I don't know what state he lives in, whatever state he's got a custody order, that's not going to work all the time, depending on what state you got. But I know for me, not talking to her killed her. Not addressing her killed her. My kids jumping out of the car or being excited to see me killed her. That's the only thing. I'm at. By the end of the year, I'll be $30,000 in lawyer fees because my daughter is 12, my son is 10. I've been fighting because I understand what it is to know that I want my children to know that, okay, my dad cared about me. He fought for me. This is somebody that no one could tell them that I didn't care about them. Like, his kid is only 4 years old. Later on in life, he'll be able to go back and see all these videos and see all this chaos. And that's what I did not want my kids to grow up in. I didn't want them to see that. So I had to pick better. I had to find a better woman. I had to find who I wanted my kids to model, my daughter to model her behavior after, and what I wanted my son to look for in a woman. So I had to fix myself and then fight for my kids at the same time while looking. And that takes time. It takes money. It takes introspection. It takes doing all the necessary work to figure it out. My grandfather used to always say, never feel bad for a millionaire. So these, when I hear the young man say, like, oh, the politicians and the rappers or entertainers, like, no one's coming to save you. Either you figure it out and get it out of the mud. And I had my dad in my life. But if you don't figure it out and get out of the mud, it don't matter what anybody else is doing anywhere, because that shit is not going to save you. It's not going to do nothing for you. It's not going to benefit you in any way. Like, you have to make a conscious decision on what do I want. And I wanted my kids, and I wanted to build a family. And so because that's what I wanted, that's what I had to do. That's what I had to focus on. I couldn't focus on anything else. I couldn't focus on the club or hanging out or getting drunk or doing this and that. I had to focus on what was most important to me. So I would say absolutely take somebody, because that was the legal advice I got, to have another person there, a witness there. So it's not he say, she say. And I was doing it literally in front of a police station. I never did pickups at the house at our first custody hearing, because it was volatile like that. And so I would say, make sure you know the laws of your state. What are the laws? And be willing to spend the money. Like, a lawyer costs. Like, my retainer for the lawyer is $6,000. $6,000 just to get through the door. $6,000 just to get to the door. So I think a lot of cats don't want to fight for custody. They ain't rather complain online because they ain't got no money.
No, bro. That's a part of it, but the real issue is just keeping it real. He wasn't trying to be a father. He was just trying to solidify his sexual access to your mama. He wasn't really trying to take care of all these kids. He just saw that as leverage for sexual access to her. So, okay, when females start getting a wandering eye and looking like they might want to go try somebody else, oh, let me hurry up and get her pregnant right quick. So if I get her, a lot of fellas, that's their strategy, if you will. And I talked about this before. If we can just get her into enough trouble, enough debt, enough kids, enough age, get her far, eventually she will give up on the idea of pursuing other options.
But we're 20 years into that excuse. And so
brother, we're 50 years into it. We're 50 years into it.
So to me, it's not an excuse. It's a choice. Like, we see what it is.
No, every fella thinks he's got the magic touch, and that this time it will be different.
And that's stupid.
Remember, if all you got in your toolbox is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So every fella who comes along, he doesn't have anything else to negotiate with. So don't worry, when I do it, this chick is different. My female is not like all the other 4 billion females. My female is unique and different. And when I put her in this trick bag, well, it'll stick with this one. That's what they tell themselves. And then eventually they find out, no, your woman is a woman like all the others. Just like all the others. But yes, what you're trying to get at is these are self-inflicted wounds. Well, yes. Yeah, they absolutely are. This is self-inflicted wounds. She didn't trick you into anything. You thought you were going to be slick, and you're thinking about the part where she was trying to be slick. Okay, so it's like spy versus spy. You got two dirty players trying to get over on each other. And you're not accepting
the loser is the kid. The loser is literally the child. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
but they don't care about that.
I know my kids, I'm on a week-to-week schedule. I got 50-50 legal, 50-50 physical. And I had to fight. I was 20 grand in before I got that, because Pennsylvania is a shit show. It's a fucking shit show. And I got 50-50. After I was going just back to back. I didn't get what I liked. 3 months later, I filed again. I didn't get what I liked again. I filed again. I didn't get what I liked again. I filed again. And it wasn't, I got no criminal history. I own my own business. I own land. Mind you, my kid's mother is a convicted felon, and they're fighting me to keep me from having my kids 50% of the time. And so at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not going to fight with men to be men. Either you take the time to put in the work to figure out what it is that you need for your unique, specific life experience, or you just drown and die.
Well, brother, the difference is you actually wanted to be a father on some level. These dudes don't. PJ Washington does not want to be a father. He sees kids because he's a dope and a dunce, and he doesn't have anything going for him mentally. So in his simple-minded techniques, he thinks like a hoe. And in his mind, having kids is how you keep a woman around. Just like with a bunch of scummy females, they're having the kids how you lock a man and prevent him from leaving. In PJ Washington's mind, he thinks having kids is how you keep a woman around. Things went bad with Brittany, so he decided with the next chick, the only mistake I made was I didn't up the ante. So when he got with Aisha, all right, let me give her the kid and a ring. And we all see what this is walking off into. The quality of man is what matters. If you think that marriage
she came with a kid, Jason. She came with a kid. She had a child before they got together.
And he dismissed that.
Okay, so he's just totally ignoring the other kid.
He's got a type, and his type is she a baddie? Is she known? Is she a good look? So everything's on aesthetics today, bro. Like I say, you and me, we're a little bit older, so we have a life outside of the internet and social media. All these millennials and Gen Z and stuff, brother, if it didn't happen online, it didn't happen. If they can't show it on the Instagram feed, it didn't happen. It didn't occur. So she's not good enough. She's not good enough if you can't show. Remember, I mean, academics talked about this, and he was right. He said when you get to a certain level as rappers or athletes or whatever, first y'all talk about how much money y'all got. But all of y'all got a bunch of money, so then it moves to, okay, who got the flyest car? Okay, but all of y'all can pretty much afford the flyest car. Okay, then it becomes who got the flyest chick. You see what I mean? It becomes an arms race built on aesthetics. The house, the car, the money, that's what gives you status. Okay, but when you start saying the female, now we got something different. You see, your house and your car will obey your every word. A female won't. She can do something different from what you're saying. So when you start making that your goal, you better be solid about the chick you're pursuing. But if you have a relationship that is sloppy and raggedy, and she's got a kid, all of her problems are about that she had with you as an individual about to get multiplied. Having a kid is not going to make her more responsible, as you saw. It's whatever problems you had with her, they're about to multiply. Whatever issues or psychoses she had, that's about to go 4 and 5x.
But so that's that's maybe because I'm older. That's what I'm actually confused by, because I'm confused as to why after I'm saying 20 years. You're saying 50 years, and we've got black and we got white and we got Hispanic men across entertainment, across politics, across social economic status, all falling for the same type, the same trap over and over and over and over and over again. Like my son is 10. And at this point in his life, as his body is changing and he's going through puberty, I'm instilling him now like, hey, listen, you don't want a woman like your mom. You want a woman like my wife. You want a woman like your stepmom. And he calls my wife mom because that's what he sees her as. And we were having a conversation. He like, Daddy, you messed up. Mommy treats me better than mommy at the other house. And I don't know how my 10-year-old son can see that and distinguish that. And you're telling me multimillionaires who have access to the internet and attorneys and Google.
No,
and
brother,
all
I explained that there. I explained that before. They live in an alternate reality. You don't know what it's like to have $1 million deals offered to you right out of high school.
No, I don't.
You
I
have
don't.
no idea what that is. Now let's go beyond that. Even if you did, you don't know what it's like to have to have ESPN Sports Center talking about you in high school, talking about you in college, magazines, documentaries, sports specials, local TV stations coming to your house. You don't know what that's like. For everybody to know, hey, he's the man. This kid's going places that he's already been chosen. You don't know what that's like. So, yes, there's a socioeconomic lane for you, but it's not like it is for these professional athletes. They get shunted off into a parallel universe that looks like the one you're in, and they may drive down the same freeway you're in, but they're in a different dimension from you. And that's why I was saying, do you realize, and I've met these people. I was here with
that dimension don't have no lawyers.
I was
that
here.
Dimension don't have no lawyers?
No. Just pay attention. Listen. I was here when Stromile Swift got signed. So I can tell you about a bunch of cats. I was here when he got signed, and I knew some of his kinfolk, and I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And what I'm saying is, you don't know what it's like to be 19 years old and nobody has a negative word to say to you. Everybody's smiling when you show up everywhere you go. Gas station, Walmart, Popeyes, everywhere you go. You used to some folks at least having a mean word. You don't know what it's like to be 19 years old and nobody anywhere has a negative word to say to you. Even if you call customer service, you say your name and all of a sudden everybody's got a great attitude. You don't know what that's like. Now he's 19 or 20 years old, and this is how everybody's treating him. Here's the point. It's like pretty privilege. How do you convince him, bruh, this is not real? Dude, everybody treats me like this. I'm just a nice guy. You should be a nicer fella. If you were, everybody would treat you that way. Dude, it's because you got a contract. I haven't even gotten the contract yet, but he thinks that this is real. Because everywhere he goes, that's the response he gets without even trying. You don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like. None of us know what that's like to be subjected to that year after year. For 4 or 5 years, nobody says anything negative. Bro, you're in a fantasy world. And it's only when somebody thinks they got you over a barrel, now the negative part starts. But this is a culture shock because for the previous 4 or 5 years, nobody had anything negative to say. Nobody's ever tried to hurt you. All the females are cooperative. All the men want to be your buddy. Everybody wants to be your pal. And then you woke up one day with this kid and everybody pulled out the knives and you feel like the world is spun crazy. Okay, and it would have been different if it had happened over a long period of time. If it had happened over 7 or 8 years, that'd be different. No, you're going to have all this happen to you within 6 calendar months.
But Jason, the thing is, how does PJ Washington's situation translate to, let's say, the average Joe, or even the guy who's doing who's doing 100K after taxes? Like, if that could happen to him, and you're saying he's in an alternate universe, okay, cool. I agree with you. I concede to that point. But if he's in an alternate universe, and then you got a guy who cats don't know his name, he just owned a couple of properties, he's pulling in 10, 12 grand a month, he's doing over 100K a year. Why would he look at that and then think, okay, yeah, he that happened to him, but it ain't gonna happen to me because I'm better than him? Like that's delusion. Like that's like mass psychosis in my mind. And I don't want to keep fighting, especially with black men, trying to get them to see like this is not the way.
The reason that happens is because most people, particularly men, do not compare themselves to the people above them. They compare themselves to the people that they see as quote unquote below them. So as long as he when you say, oh, he's a fella, he's got a few properties. Okay, well, he's asking himself, well, hell, I'm doing fantastic. How many folk doing what I'm doing? So I'm killing it. And so as far as he's concerned, I know because I was there. I was there in my early 20s. I was comparing myself to everybody who I knew. Yeah, but you live in Louisiana, dude. So you're knocking it out of the park for Louisiana. Take your ass to New York or LA and see how competitive you really are. I didn't do that. So for other fellas there, they're looking at the guys below him and he's like, man, I'm killing it. So now he thinks he's got a bunch of excess leeway that he actually doesn't have. Or maybe he does have it, but he's about to squander it. And the other thing is, what was your goal? A lot of people, the reason why we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein today is because so many people couldn't wrap their heads around the idea that pedophiles could be extremely ambitious. A lot of folk figure if you're a pedophile, you're just hanging out in the alley somewhere smelling like cat food. And that's not true. What you're found out is you are overrun in government, media, business. The pedophiles are everywhere. And they're also some of the sharpest, most insightful, most ambitious, driven economic minds you ever met. So yes, you can be both without it suffering as a result. So just because a fella has decided my goal is to enter the 7-figure income bracket, my question for him is why? Most men only want to make 7 figures because it greatly expands his sexual options.
They want a trick.
Well, I don't know if I would say necessarily trick. That's certainly something that comes into it. But what I will say is he believes that 7 figures will expand his sexual horizons. At least he thinks that.
But all the cats I know who really getting it, Jason, and I mean this with my soul, these motherfuckers ain't got no money. These motherfuckers, excuse my language, they just slinging dick. I'm going to just be honest with you. Like, all the cats I really know who got 3, 4 baby moms and they be with the prettiest joints, they don't have no paper. The shorties be bringing them money.
Well,
like
it depends on the quality of female you want. It depends on the quality of female you want, because like for you, for example, yo lady, I know who she is. Hey, but in your case, like I say, you had a different requirement. Take a look at PJ. What is the requirement that he had of Brittany? What's the requirement that he had of Aisha?
Just to be pretty. That's what he wants.
They've made no contribution to his NBA career whatsoever. None. No. For a fella who got to get it for himself, he's going to have different priorities. Now, there will be a certain segment of males that money is the great equalizer, and if I couldn't pull chicks based on personality, the money will help level the playing field. And let's be clear, most males don't have people skills. And this is not today. This is not new. This is throughout history. The majority of males throughout history did not get to have children. They weren't interesting enough. They weren't productive enough. They weren't resourceful enough. They didn't get to have children. The females overlooked them. Okay, it's still the same thing today.
Monogamy is the only reason why a lot of these cats is getting somebody. Polygamy had tens of thousands of men for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, I mean, in a fully polygamous environment, you'd have a bunch of dudes working for the guys at the top, and they just the females would just be taking their turn with whoever the man is, and that would be what it would be.
And you got none.
But
exactly.
in the modern era, most males are socially inept. They're socially awkward. If you put them down in front of a female and say, you have 5 minutes to have an engaging conversation, he'd be unable to do it. So the idea of getting her interested in him simply for being him, it's beyond him. He's incapable of doing it.
That's
so
because
he
they're
needs
not interesting, Jason.
Yes, he's not
They've
interesting,
never
but
done anything.
he needs the money. He needs the money to even that out.
But the money only gets you so far. Like, the money don't get you companionship, like not real companionship. The money doesn't defeat loneliness.
Fellas with low options got to cut a deal. Brother, it eventually gets to a point where he understands, I got to make a deal. And now you can automatically feel, I can see on your face, you can feel the intrinsic flaw in that. The intrinsic flaw in thinking that you're going to cut some sort of companionship deal is that you are depending on the honorability and fidelity of the person you cutting this deal with.
Yes.
You can't legally obligate them. You can't socially obligate them, and you can't punish them if they break the deal. This is a handshake honor deal. This is the honor system. If she's not interested in you, if she's there because, okay, you're, quote, financially successful, every day you get up with her is the honor system. Yes. And that's it.
So why would I, well, like, this, for me, it's not even about PJ. It's about
It's about the guys in the tax bracket, let's say between $60,000 and $99,000. And I'm talking about after taxes. It's about them. And I say this to friends of mine all the time. Like, if you want to meet interesting women, you need to become interesting. And you don't become interesting by buying cars and chains. You become interesting by traveling the world and gaining more and more experiences. That's how you have a human experience. Being online and watching a Twitch does not make you interesting. If you want to meet interesting women and you want to really build companionship, then you need to go somewhere and do something so that you can become worthwhile. And but it's like, when I say it, it's so foreign. And I've been married 10 years. Like, when I got with my wife, she had just got out of a Ford modeling contract. Like, so I'm not saying this as a person who ended up with a 5, 6, or 7. I'm saying this as a person who ended up with a beautiful human, inside and outside. So what I'm saying is that I had to be interesting to get her attention, because when I got with her, I didn't have any money. It was simply because I was interesting. I have money now. Now I have money. But then I didn't have any money. I just was interesting. But I was interesting because I did the work on fixing myself, on healing myself, becoming a decent human. Like, you're saying that the money levels the playing field. It doesn't. The money is a fraud.
Well, when I say levels the playing field, I mean gets the conversation. A fella who has a personality and has character and is interesting, he can get a conversation just sitting down.
Yes.
To the fella who doesn't have that, he needs to level that playing field, because he can't even get the sitting down part started. So he needs money. That's not optional for him. He got to have the money just to get a conversation. The same way that females with double D cups, she's always showing cleavage or more. She needs that to get a conversation.
So the money is a BBL.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
And the results are predictable, because there's only a certain type of female who is going to gravitate to you. But the problem for him is what you articulated. You will be too blind and too unseasoned and inexperienced to realize that she's not the least. It's one thing if she's not completely into you. It's another thing if this woman is not the least bit interested in you. She's interested in what she can get. And if you're a male who, because of how he's been raised or what your experience has been or that parallel universe, you can't recognize that, you're what we call a sitting duck. I'll let you have the last word.
Men, everybody always say focus on yourself, King. Don't focus just on yourself. Focus on what is going to give you value. Learn the custody laws and figure out how to save your children, because if you don't, they're just going to mess up like you did. Have an excellent night, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, y'all, I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree. At some point, I think PJ and Brittany gonna end up in bed again together.
What? Nigga, what?
Yeah. I mean, I think you all are saying it. We talked about that earlier tonight, but yeah, I think at some point he likes that really particular brand of crazy that she is. And he ain't really he's got a wife and everything, but yeah, I think he really likes that brand of it. And at some point, him and Aisha are going to start butting heads. Him and Aisha are going to start butting heads. You can clearly see that's coming. And Brittany is going to seize on it. How she was treating him so nice, and she was treating him so ladylike, and remember when they first met? Take a look at those photographs of her when they first met. Remember when she used to come to his games, when she was targeting him? What? Y'all saw what her face looked like then? If him and Aisha start having trouble, Brittany gonna hit him with that smile. And she's gonna start softening him up and buttering him up like she did when they first met. And because he so obviously wishes he could turn back time, yeah, she gonna have the end. So all she's waiting on right now is for him and Aisha to crash out. He's waiting for those two to have a falling out. He's gonna come pick up his son. Either he's gonna pick up his son or she's gonna come pick the son up. And then she got her opening. She's got her opening. That baby is her excuse to keep spinning the block. That kid is her excuse to keep spinning the block until eventually she gets an opening. So I would not be the least bit surprised. We may never hear about it. We may never find out about it until Brittany writes a book. Damn! Brittany might have to write a book about it first and start confessing. She might do a Corinne Steffens and write a book and start confessing. It might get that far along, so it might be years from now, but I suspect there's a strong probability that, not even possibility, strong probability that at some point, if things is going to be dependent on him having a falling out with Aisha. He has a falling out with her, and them two going to be, Brittany's going to have an opening. Because here's the thing, PJ can't keep nothing secret. He can't keep anything under his own damn roof. Him and old girl start fighting, and everybody's going to know. It's not going to be a secret. If him and her get into it and him and her, fall out, and I keep saying Aisha is like Elisa, but she could be an Aisha. But in any case, if him and Elisa have a falling out, it's going to be public. They're going to have it on their damn social media. They're going to be unfollowing each other. They're going to be throwing shade and stuff like that. It's not going to be quiet. You just saw here. It will not be quiet. When them two start butting heads, it's going to be World War III. They're going to be all public with it. They're going to be putting up Instagram stories talking about what a real man don't do. He going to be putting up stories talking about, well, if y'all have it, don't be keeping man away from your kids. So if that happens, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be that. It's going to be that. Let this be a cautionary tale for all the fellas out there. Fellas, it's 2025. Man, you ain't supposed to be sagging your pants and you're not supposed to have no damn baby mama. Get a damn life, dumb nigga. All you're doing is giving these women control of your finances, ability to manipulate and interfere with and harass you, and to destroy your bloodline. And that brings me to my final point here tonight. People, when you got a Ciara and women who are sitting up here teaching the kids to hate you, I'm not saying that what happened with PJ was false, people. I'm saying it's real. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying that that's false, dude. I'm saying it's real. Yeah, your dunce tubers aren't talking like this. People, what if it's not false? What if it's not phony? What if it really is that the kid cries when he shows up? Have you all thought about that? No, the dunce tubers didn't tell you this. Forget the red pill, the dumb pill. It didn't mention this. What if the kid really is crying and Brittany really is correct? I didn't say she's right. What if she really is correct? And she's got this child able to be very unpleasant and very unhappy when his father shows up. What is she doing? What is she doing that engenders that response? Because understand, the next step is, this is what, hey, dummy, The next step is she'll be going to court and telling the judge that she wants sole custody.
What? Damn! Lie.
No lie. The reason that her mammy was sitting there recording it is because they looking to see what the next leg up is, and I've been telling y'all this the whole damn time. She wants to push for sole custody. Tell me why your bonehead tubers didn't tell you this. She's recording this because what if she's right? And then she's figured out how to get this kid to react negatively every time his father shows up. And now, next thing you know, a court-ordered supervisor or child advocate, oh hell, a court child advocate. Hey, PJ Jr. Hi. Hey. How are things with your father? Do you like going with Dad? No. Why not? I like Mom. Well, does Daddy do things, or is Daddy bad? Daddy is mean.
What?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
I like Grandmommy. Daddy is mean. How is Daddy mean? He doesn't let me stay up. I want to watch TV and video games, and he doesn't let me play Roblox and video games. Daddy is mean. Yeah, there's a bunch of y'all now saying, I'll be damned. That could fit and lock into place like Legos real easy now, couldn't it? I submit to you that Brittany is not incorrect. Brittany is correct. The boy is reacting negatively when his father shows up. And Brittany is beginning a paper trail. And the only thing a paper trail is good for is submitting it to the system. Here's my documentation. It is unhealthy and upsetting for our son to keep going with their father. You should give the kid to me for sole custody. Oh yeah, and tell PJ he needs to pay a lot more damn money, since I will have sole custody. Please tell me why your other bonehead tubers did not explain that to you while they were so busy talking about Brittany wrong and Brittany crazy and Brittany just upset because PJ killing the game and PJ has moved on when so obviously he hasn't. Those are the really idiot YouTubers talking about PJ has moved on. All I can say is y'all can listen to those clowns if you want to. Jason, how do you predict these things? The rest of them are wrong. I don't know, because maybe they don't see anything. And when you hear them say stupid stuff like that, PJ is so obviously not moved on. Now, you add the child reacting negatively, and let's be clear about something. If Brittany pushes the issue, the judge is not going to give a damn about what Brittany doing. The judge is going to talk about, well, look at you, PJ. What are you, 6'5"? And you're a big, strong professional athlete? You're a really scary looking guy. You're a big, tall, imposing man. I can understand why everybody's scared when you're around. Well, your son's crying. Look how much bigger you are. You're bigger and blacker and blacker and bigger and blacker and bigger. Well, you're just scary. And look at him. Why, you're very hostile. But hey, she was up here yelling at me and everything. Well, you're talking about suck this and you're very hostile. And you did this in front of your son. Jason tried to warn you. Y'all, the judge ain't gonna say a damn thing about what Brittany was doing. The judge gonna be like, well, as the father, no one was crying before you showed up, and no one was upset before you showed up. So let's see how things work when you're not around. Y'all ain't seen how many folk they done sued and how many court. You think you got a damn chance in child support court? In family court, you think you got a damn chance? These are things that y'all are used to hearing about, broke black males and whatnot getting a public defender. It's like, okay, as an athlete, remember what they said about Shannon Sharp? Well, Shannon, you're dating a 22-year-old, and look at you, Shannon, you're all big and muscular, so of course you were raping her. What? Why, Shannon Sharp, of course it was rape. Why, look how big and muscular you are, and you're big and black and big and muscular, and look at those muscles and that blackness on top of those muscles. Why, our little white snowflake princess didn't stand a chance while you were sitting there just raping her from one side of America to the other. What else was she to do except to come back month after month? Why, she was intimidated. So she had to come back and allow you to do it again because she was scared beyond belief. And you think PJ's not going to get the same damn treatment? The judge is not going to give a damn about what Brittany is doing. It's like, okay, what do we need to do to yank enough money from this nigga, get these kids out of here? That's the game they play. And you're playing into their hands when you do that. You're playing into their hands when you do that. You're playing into their hands. You're supposed to be smart enough not to do that. This fella here got contracts and every damn thing else, and because he's emotionally stunted at the level of a 5-year-old, since you're emotionally stunted as a 5-year-old, he's got females around him obviously circling like vultures, with one of them setting him up to go to the system. I'm telling y'all the way it's going to go down. She's going to try to claim that PJ is out of control and violent and this, that, and there and the other, and see if she can mess up one of his deals, and it'll be some scumbag lawyer come circling around. And don't worry, Brittany, we're experts in the field of doing this. We're experts at shaking people down. We're going to call PJ's team. Damn! Remember, folks, when they came for Shannon Sharp, they didn't come for Shannon. They waited until he had a deal that he was trying to get put together, and they went to them. They went at ESPN. They went at them potential folk that he was trying to sign up with. Remember? But when it was time, they didn't go at Shannon. Remember? They went at the networks. And were like, do you really want this guy around? Yeah, going to Shannon, he's too strong for that. You can't really rattle him, but we'll go after your associations. Oh, well, you know what? If something go down, we'll go with the team. Well, remember, there's a video of PJ sitting up here yelling back and forth, the baby mama in the driveway. Oh, this is a bad character over here, man. Y'all want to get wrapped up with him? You all really want to be wrapped up with him? They'll wait until something strategic happens. And if they think they can make it messy enough and bad enough, that'll be an issue. So take this as a cautionary tale for all you fellas out there. Fellas, you're a failure as a man if you're getting these little broads pregnant. If she's not good enough to marry, how the hell is she good enough to get pregnant? You're lonely. You're destitute. You're a loser. And you think that getting chicks pregnant is going to keep them around. Fellas, a hoe gonna do what a hoe gonna do.
And deal Deal with it, nigga.
If your daddy, you ain't got no solid men around you to just give you reality. Fellas, get it out of your head that you're some unicorn and special. A hoe gon' do what a hoe gon' do. If your broad is ready to break out and lay up with somebody else, nigga, it doesn't matter if she got 50 kids. If she ready to wiggle that booty meat at somebody else's crib, nigga, that's where it's going down. All the kids and the marriage and the house, you better take a look at Jada Pinkett. You're fooling yourself. These are little delusions you feed yourself because you think it'll make you secure. Fellas, when the hoe ready to go, she ready to go. Shout out Finesse 2 times. When the hoe is ready to go, she ready to go. You are not gonna put a padlock on them panties. You're sitting up here fantasizing to yourself that your money or your status or a baby is gonna be a chastity belt and that she gonna be sitting right there where you left her when you finish doing what you're doing when you come back. And that's not reality. If she's ready to go, she's ready to go. If she's going to do something else, she's going to do something else. Now, maybe she won't get a fella who's on a higher level than you, but the bottom line is, what I'm saying is a kid is not going to padlock them draws. It's not going to do it. There are enough fellas out here in your 40s and 50s. Y'all seen hoes do some of the grimiest stuff, bruh. Come on now. I'm not even talking about chicks who really got reputations as hoes. Y'all got fellas, y'all done worked at jobs. She's a little Miss Quiet. She's a little Miss Demure. She shows up to work on time. She talks articulate and she do some grimy stuff. Nigga, if you didn't know better, when she walk out them doors, oh, she's slut walking. You're supposed to be smart enough and seasoned enough as a man. We all of us who gotten over the age of 40 and 50, we understand that. Man, chicks will do the grimiest. While you're sitting here with this idea in your head that she's infallible, she would never do that. And all the rest of us like, okay, this nigga knew. When they ready to bust a move, they don't give a damn. Because it's not going to be her first time. What? Oh, yeah, by the way, it's not going to be her first time she did it. So sit there and tell yourself you got a padlock on them draws and it ain't going nowhere. And don't worry, I put a big enough burden on her. Fella, she will sit up here and break out and go sleep with a couple of dudes just to prove to you that she still can move around. Just to prove to you that she still got her freedom. She will go bust it for a couple of dudes just to prove to you that you don't run her. Just to prove it. She's not going to require commitment. She ain't going to require nothing. She's just going to require them dudes to lay up for a little bit. Just so she can prove you're not her only option for where she's going to sleep tonight. She's not thinking about where she's going to sleep a year from now, dummy. She's talking about, well, I got somebody else to do it tonight. While you're telling yourself that you locked the door behind you. Oh, bro, ain't nobody going there. They're going to be sitting there when I get back. Okay, and he get back and phone numbers and every damn thing else. Stop that nonsense. Fellas, get a damn personality. Get some experiences. Learn some conversational skills. Learn how to sit and talk to somebody and get them interested in you. Learn to make them feel like they're the center of the world when you talk to them. Learn how to become somebody that the woman doesn't want the conversation to end. Forget sex. She doesn't want the conversation with you to end. She can rattle off hours or days talking to you because you're an interesting person, because you add to her life just intellectually, because you open up new foundations and ways of thinking. I'm not talking about some dope smoking metaphysical garbage. I'm talking about things relevant to her life where she is right now. I'm talking about not being some anime geek dork. You can love your anime. You can love your manga. That can't be what defines you. That can be a small corner of your life. That cannot be your life. You can't build a foundation with a woman based on your hobbies. You can only build it based on your personality and your accomplishments. Give her something interesting to think about and to talk about. We covered this on Patreon last week. I was doing too much talking last week to them, but they'll just go and mess it up. But anyway, I need men out here to get it into their heads. Stop trying to make every damn female your wife because you're so freaking lonely. You're so lonely and destitute that any chick who gives you the damn time of day, you're throwing the doors open and opening the keys to them. And that's the problem. So you have to bet all your chips on this one option because you ain't got nothing else. And this is how you end up standing in the damn driveway arguing with your baby mama because it's between her and Alicia and Alyssa. And that's all it is. You can go buy all the Rolls Royces you want to and yachts you want to, dude. You're low rent. It's low rent. So, fellas, you can put yourself in a situation. I don't give a damn how nice the female looks. There is no female looks good enough to be going through this. I do not care how fly she is, how nice her rump is, how cute her face is. I don't care how many dudes stare when she walks by. No female, no person is worth this. The impact to your psyche, your peace, your bloodline, no person is worth this. Not at all. Not at all. And certainly not worth going through this for the next 2 damn decades. Ain't no daylight, ain't no exit in sight. This is just gonna be what your life is gonna be. Wondering what new devilment her and her mammy are dreaming up. And y'all understand, it's a Friday night. Brittany Renner and her mama are having a war council right now about how they can trip him up and get him into more trouble and see how much they can take from him. We're sitting here talking right now. Her and her mama right now are dreaming up and scheming for how they can undermine him as we speak. They're working on that right now as we speak. And in case anybody was wondering, by the way, Brittany Renner can live with her mama and have 50-50 custody. I wonder if PJ be able to do the same damn thing.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Yeah, Brittany Renner can live with her parents and get 50-50 custody. If you think the courts are balanced, if PJ Washington was living with his parents talking about 50-50 custody, what do you think the judge would say? How you think that conversation would go? She ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Right now, as we talk tonight, she's sitting with her mama dreaming up how we gonna get him. How we gonna trip him up. He's already shown he doesn't have any emotional control. He gonna go for the bait. He's already shown he's gonna go for the bait. So we'll just sit back and watch and see how much worse it gets. But fellas, this is a cautionary tale. This is a cautionary tale. Fellas, I'm not guaranteeing you that there will not be drama. You ain't got to have 15 and 20 damn years of it. You don't have to let it mess up your damn bloodline. Maybe y'all will have an altercation, but it doesn't have to be one that messes up your bloodline. If the chick is cute, man, look here, do what you do and send her home. Lay up with Ciara and send her home. Lay up with Brittany when you are in town and send her home. Stop getting emotionally attached and then you end up financially trapped. Send them home, fellas. Make it where you ain't got to see her unless you come through. You have complete control of her access to you. If she's worth more access, maybe you'll give it to her, maybe you won't. But right now, Brittany's able to force access to him. If nothing else, if she starts taking him to court, she's going to force him to start showing up to court. He's already got another problem sitting next to him. He can't even focus on that. And by the way, do you think that's going to help their relationship? Lie. Do you think that his wife, and it depends on who you're talking to, because Brittany, I think, claimed that they did get into a fight over it. I don't believe that, but do you think that that's helpful for your marriage? Your wife is out here throwing hands with your damn baby mama in the freaking rain. You think that's going to be conducive to a relationship? You think that's going to enhance your relationship? I'm not even going to talk about where Alyssa's baby daddy is and where's old dude at with your wife out, your chick out here doing this. You think this is going to make a stronger marriage? You got your wife over here going forehead to forehead with your baby mama in the damn rain? You think that's the way to go? Yeah, we can be happily married with Friday night fights going on. What in the hell? Is that what she married you for? Is that what she thought life with you was going to be like? First time you do something that your wife doesn't like, she's going to remember this. She was damn near out there in the damn front yard fighting other hoes over you. Oh, she going to be ruthless when the payback come. If you do anything she doesn't like, all she's going to remember is that she was in the front damn yard fighting other hoes over you. Nigga, you owe me some monogamy.
And deal with it, nigga.
According to Brittany, by the way, PJ is not good for monogamy. He better be, because if he thinks he's going to be able to sit up here and have his wife fighting other chicks in the front yard and then think that his wife ain't going to slide on him if he starts seeing other females and messing around, brush, she ain't out there fighting Brittany because she thinks that you got options. She's willing to knuckle up on Brittany because she figures, okay, we riding. So, oh no, the first time he trips up for another female, he's done. Oh, that's a wrap. Stay tuned, sports fans. This story is not over yet. Not by a long shot. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to DMB Nation. Thank you very much for your support tonight. The Gentleman's Lounge, he gave out some memberships. I appreciate that. Sir Shy, DMB Nation representing. Thank you very much. Tech and Peck, Arthur Akella Perma, Cameron Fairchild, E305, and everybody else here tonight. I have forgotten one person. I hate it when I do that. Let me see if I can find them right quick, if I can. My man Vincent. Thank you very much for your support, Vincent. And if you are new here to the business, welcome to the Definitive School of Power Dynamics. We are the most exciting internet radio program you could possibly find here. We will give you the insight and analysis you will receive absolutely nowhere else. Where your other YouTubers are getting everything wrong, we get it right, and they'll all be correcting themselves when it's over. And there's all the format and all the talking points you hear them steal every week. You know where they got it from. If we have earned the right to do so, click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. And if you've been subscribed to us before, please check your subscription status. YouTube is routinely unsubscribing people from us. So make sure that you check to make sure if you are subscribed, you want to go ahead and do that. And if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. But if you don't, come back next week. Give us another opportunity to see if we can earn that. But I know you're going to love it there because you don't want to miss out on it. And if you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. We are going to be having our second book list program here tomorrow. We're going to be having the second book list here tomorrow. So everybody be watching for it. Be locked and loaded. You're going to want to be on top of that as well. Got a few key points we're going to go into there. So I suggest you join us. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will be standing in the driveway handling you.